right, welcome to Hat Trick Podcast with Mike and Leo. Successfully, we're not going to do any technical difficulties, no issues to start off today. And Leo's going to introduce our first guest, or our special guest.
This is our this is a third attempt at this, folks. Guys, today we have a very special guest on the show today. My good buddy, his name is Arsen. He's an upcoming filmmaker. He's a movie aficionado. Worked with him on a bunch of films. He's a director, writer, producer, skilled in everything European. Let's give a warm welcome to Arsen Martyrosian. Yeah.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. I was a big fan.
You're a big fan?
I'm a big fan of a podcast.
You get referenced a lot, don't you?
Yeah, I know. I'm getting shout-outs all the time. So I decided to come here and explain to these guys why they are completely wrong.
And I told them, I'm like, hey, Arsen, episode 10, there's a special topic, second topic. We talk about most overrated, underrated movies. I'm like, before you come on, you should listen to that episode. He's like, I have. Get ready.
Now the death threats are coming in.
The death threats are coming.
Yeah.
What should I get ready for, Arsen?
Well, first of all, it's okay. There's nothing, to fear about. But you're just 100% wrong on a taxi driver. Like, I know.
Why am I 100% wrong?
We'll get to it. Seriously, we need to
ease into it.
Ease into it. Yeah, exactly.
There's probably a lot of opinions Arsen has on the stuff that you said, and I've brought it up in previous episodes. I'm like, Michael, careful. So you're riding the tide here.
I know.
Yeah, Leo was fear-mongering my arrival here.
I know.
Just be careful.
Am I a little scared? Maybe. Just a little bit.
When you're talking films, you're talking Arsen. That's it's a serious thing.
Yeah, and Michael's wearing a Star Wars t-shirt right now. You don't see it, but oh damn, that's like a red for a bull here, man.
Oh my god.
It's a red flag.
Yeah, it is. It is really not a good t-shirt to wear with me.
There's a long
history. Long history. Okay, maybe we might get into it after. But Arsen, you said you want to talk about the Telltale game. So they had an announcement recently.
Yeah, so this is something like I was not planning to talk about ever, hopefully in my life.
Ever?
But I was on the way here in a bus and I started reading. So I was at work the whole day.
Okay.
So the announcement came in the morning that apparently like 95% of all employees that Telltale had got laid off.
Oh, really?
That this morning they showed up to work and they were given 30 minutes to leave the building. And none of them got the severance pay or anything. And basically the studio is closing now.
Wow.
It's not announced completely, but the Telltale games, the studio had been out doing the biggest narrative games, and they created their own genre. Is basically at the brink of being completely closed.
That's crazy.
And there is no announcement yet why it's happening, but these are the big things. So firstly, I don't know if any of you played Wolf Among Us.
No, I wanted to, but I heard that game's phenomenal, and they're making a second one, weren't they?
They canceled it today. They announced it at E3. It was trailer. It was bunch of screenshots and everything. They canceled it today, as well as the new game based on Stranger Things.
Oh no, they're gonna have a game on that.
Because they were a huge company. Think about how many different companies went to them to do the games based on.
That'd be a good movie to do a game on.
Yeah, they did Jurassic Park. They did Batman. Both seasons, right? They did Back to the Future, which was official.
I played a little bit of Batman and Back to the Future. It was okay.
Yeah, well, I really like their games because they are one of the only companies that are left right now who are doing mostly narrative stuff.
Sure.
So I was a big fan of them. And not only that, so the two projects that they already announced is going to be canceled. So apparently out of 250 people who work there, right now only 25 are still employed. And the announcement that they made on Twitter is that they are still employed just to finish their working on some projects that they still have obligations to their partners and the companies that I guess sponsored them and everything. But there was another thing. So that the Telltale games they started I think in 2008-ish, and they did this Sam & Max. I know you've heard of it.
Yeah, Sam & Max. That's it's a rabbit, right?
A rabbit and a dog.
Yeah.
So it was based on a really, really classic adventure game, and they revived it, and they made this I think 3 seasons, and it was a phenomenal adventure game, really funny, extremely fun to play, and then in 2011 or 12 they did The Walking Dead season 1.
Yeah.
which was like the first game, maybe not the first interactive, movie kind of game, but it was like one of the biggest successes they had. It won the best game award that year. And it was like a huge success. So this year, the Walking Dead franchise, like their games, is releasing the last season. So they announced that this new season, I think this is number 4, is going to be the last one in their,
For Telltale?
No, for the Telltale games.
Oh, for Walking Dead. Oh,
franchise.
okay, yeah.
So they do the games in episodic format, meaning
Yes.
that there's like, you buy either a season pass or just buy episodes like $5 an episode, or you buy a season pass for like $25 and you're going to get new episode every time they're released.
Sure.
They released first one to a rave reviews from everyone as usual. They released the first one, and next week is going to be the second one, and that's it.
Shit.
They apparently canceled the rest
Oh,
of what was done for the season.
But I wonder why, with games with such like big success, it must have been from the internalized within the company.
Well, this is the thing. Not much is known right now. Other than like people that go on Twitter and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Most of their employees went on Twitter and like asking for jobs now. In
Yeah.
a very sarcastic and kind of salty way, but a lot of the people who used to work there, and they had like a lot of problems. I read today, like I don't know the history that well. I was just reading here because I was trying to figure out what's going on.
Sure.
But apparently, they had like lawsuits. They had like there was article published about them that like that they're like overwork people. And it's like not a good work environment or whatever. But it's, at this point, nothing is known exactly why it's happening.
It's something probably from the higher ups. That's my
Yeah.
suspicion. Just because to blast 95 people all at once,
Not 95,
like
250 people.
95%. I'm sorry, I mean 95%
Yeah.
of the people like all at once. Like there's
Yeah.
something that's probably fishing up from the top that's trickling all the way down to the bottom. Like they just struck it like lightning.
But that's insane. Because like
it is.
if you think about it, they were a huge company, and now it's
Yeah, I mean, they just did E3 in June, or
Yeah.
was it June? Yeah, June.
yeah.
And you have a bunch of games lined up. One, which is an anticipated sequel for that Wolf Among Us, right?
Yeah.
And then now you're belly up. Like how? That's unfortunate because, it's a they're a strong narrative franchise, and now that's just gonna pave the way for more Fortnites and
Oh damn.
like.
Oh,
Well,
man.
listen. I mean, the new Call of Duty, right? Has no
Yeah,
like
it's
campaign.
boring. Yeah.
Like I don't like that, man. I like if you talk to 16-year-old, 15-year-old Leo, be like, yeah, whatever, multiplayer, amazing. I'm getting to the age now where, man, I need a good story. I need a good story. There's so many games I've missed out with a good story just because I wanted to trade, single player fun for multiplayer fun, which I think is wrong. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, this is the thing. Today I was reading that a bunch of companies actually, and started from like Sony Santa Monica, who were doing
God of War.
I think. Yeah.
Yeah.
And they post on Twitter saying that they are really saddened to hear this news, and they will welcome a lot of creatives. From
Oh,
there.
nice.
But it's insane. Right now there is a Twitter hashtag trending, which is Telltale Jobs, which is one of the people who worked at Telltale started saying, if you have any job opportunities, please post them here.
Wow.
It was Telltale Jobs.
Shit.
It's insane because apparently people not gonna get any severance pay.
Yeah, that's messed up.
So they showed up to work today to just say, leave the building in 30 minutes. And there were no signs why it's happening. Netflix was developing a show, because now it's also canceled, based on was that so Netflix were developing a show based on Minecraft.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Minecraft story mode, because they also did like a story-based Minecraft. And now it's just up in the air, because they were working on that, and now it's just like bunch of stuff. It's insane, and like you said, like I know what it means for like single-player gaming right now.
Yeah.
I mean, there's still strong competitors out there that are just delivering like strong single player franchises, right? Like Bethesda, and
Santa Monica,
and all these-
Rockstar.
Rockstar, and all these
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like,
Naughty Dog.
Naughty
Naughty
Dog,
yeah.
Naughty
Arsen
Dog.
and me.
But it's out of all those, like, I think Telltale was the little guy.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and then that's like killing a newborn kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like they had like the potential to like rise through their ranks, and you know, and they made their way through the mobile market, right? A market that's so saturated with like, you know, fucking Angry Birds and
Not
Yeah.
anymore.
not anymore. Yeah, it's and like Fortnite and like I said and all that other stuff, right?
Yeah. PUBG's on mobile now.
Yeah, PUBG.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only platform where it could potentially run good because apparently every other
Yeah.
computer you buy, it doesn't matter, it'll run like shit.
Yeah.
Well,
But if you think about it, like if you talk about platforms specifically, you said there are a lot of companies, but other than Sony,
Mm-hmm.
no one really goes into that direction of like, you know, just like Spider-Man doesn't have a multiplayer. And you're talking
Yeah.
about Bethesda, what new game Bethesda announced? Fallout 76, it's an online game.
Yep.
You're talking about who else you mentioned
Well,
there?
there's-
Rockstar. Well, Rockstar was not releasing any GTA announcement in years because they still doing new DLCs to online piece of it.
for the online stuff. Yeah, yeah. It's. I mean, the only one that really doing like single player stuff is Nintendo.
hmm.
Yeah, but
No,
like
I
it's
know
not
it's-
narrative stuff. Let's
it's
say
not-
that's
Well, yeah, it's not. It's not
it's
really.
not Last of Us. What I'm trying to say.
It's like you're trying to say like stuff that actually has like a substantial story. Not that.
Yo, think about that. You know how like Last of Us was actually made from the early concept for Jack and Daxter game? So supposedly
Oh,
it was
really?
they were developing Jack and Daxter, and they went so far away from it that like, you know, that is a post-apocalyptic world and everything. So they scratched and like let's just make a new IP
I
because it's might
actually-
as well to do that.
I didn't even know that that's what happened.
Yeah, there are actually like concept arts out online. He brought it up during his lecture, which you also can find on YouTube. Neil Druckmann, the main writer of Last of Us and The Last Uncharted, he brought it up, but it was like very early stage of development. But you know, like the Jack and Daxter, and they travel together in a post-apocalyptic world, and it's kind of like more adult, more in terms of like Uncharted trilogy. But then they scrapped it, and it was kind of early development when they decided to switch it for a different idea and got The Last of Us. Imagine Nintendo doing that with Mario.
Yeah, you're pretty cool, actually.
Imagine a gritty, like a violent, gritty version of Mario.
Well, they wouldn't do that with Mario. I think Zelda would probably be the only franchise they would kind of do that with, and they kind of did that with Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is apocalyptic in the sense of like where it takes place, because
Yeah.
all of like the kingdom is dismantled. It's like everything's destroyed. All the cities are destroyed. It takes place 100 years after like the whole fall of the kingdom. So everyone's like kind of living in these different villages, and you kind of wake up as Link. 100 years after this battle, you're kind of resurrected, and then after the whole world is like in shits, and you have to kind of just go out and just do what you want to do and
Yeah.
save the world kind of thing. But it's good you brought up that stuff with Jack and Daxter, because
Yeah.
Anthony's a huge fan of that.
Really?
Yeah, that series, and he's like, man, I want them to make another Jack and Daxter game because he loved like
Tell
1,
him
2,
like
and that closure. I'm gonna tell him about that and tell him to listen to this part of the podcast.
Yeah.
Because and
Great.
he's like, what the fuck? Like, I want more Jack stuff, and you know,
They
yeah,
almost
go
had it.
play Last of Us.
Last of Us is phenomenal.
And
Like,
you know what? Since we're talking about The Last of Us, we're gonna talk about The First of Us. So the first topic.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
that was my segue.
That was a good
terrible.
lead in.
It was terrible.
To like Michael's just kind of like coming in like, stop this
Dude,
mess. We have a shit to do here, guys.
we gotta run the show.
Pretty
Yeah.
much. Okay. All right. So
Michael's the show.
I don't know
runner,
if
he's
you ever announced it on a podcast, but like knowing how big of
Oh, okay.
like how
Shit.
big of a fan you are of Toronto
okay.
Maple Leafs. That
right.
hat.
a- yeah.
I know,
our,
fair
main,
enough.
our main hat is a
That's
Leafs.
really fat. All right. So our first topic is the future of the film industry.
Oh,
That's yours, Leo. Sorry, Arsen.
oh shit.
So what's the future in your opinion?
Oh fuck.
Is the future more
there's
Back to the
the-
Future
I kind
sequels?
of regret putting the topic so broadly.
There's two ways this is gonna go.
Okay.
Arsen, take it away, buddy. Because
Yeah, what two ways, Leo?
Well, I get this. One of the ways I can guess is probably like a lot of sequels, a lot of remakes, a lot of that kind of thing, which is already kind of happening.
right
but-
now we are in the phase of 80s remakes. Give it another 5-10 years.
No,
and
they're slowly going to 90s remakes.
that's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah.
We're getting
Yeah.
into the 90s. Get ready.
Captain Marvel's kind of proving that already.
Yeah.
Yeah, get
Yeah.
ready for Matrix remake. Get ready for
Yeah.
Fuck.
Well, Netflix apparently was. Was it? Matrix was apparently in development for a while, right? They even recently casted. Well, in early development, they still casted Michael B. Jordan, who's like being casted in everything right now.
for to play Neo.
No, in a Matrix, but it's not a remake. People were speculating that this is gonna be an
Like a
origin
new-
trilogy of Morpheus,
Oh
which
shit.
just kind of
You-
sounds cool.
You know what?
But like,
Michael B. Jordan's a sick dude,
Yeah.
yeah,
pretty
and
good.
you know what? I think man, I'm not a huge fan of like remakes and reboots and stuff like that. But if that's a character we never really got to explore during like. I mean, I only saw the first one, but
what?
I only saw the first one. I only saw the first Matrix. But like
I haven't seen all of the
I mean,
first one.
listen, I've seen them all when I was a kid. So that doesn't count. It doesn't count. Because when you're a kid, you're just like, oh, that's cool. Wow, that's cool. But you're not actually absorbing what's going on screen. You're just like, yeah, wow, bullet time and stuff like that. And then, so it doesn't count. But so technically, I only saw the first one when I was able to understand it as an adult,
Okay.
with a conscious.
Fair.
But doing a Morpheus story, that would actually be pretty interesting, I think.
It will be. It just doesn't have the same
Impact because
in terms of world building, even like because you think about it, the first one actually starts was basically them introducing the one, right?
Mhm.
Neo.
Yeah.
So the guy who can do stuff that others can.
yeah,
So it's how do you build a franchise around people who are not able to do the coolest stuff that the original franchise was doing? You know what I mean? He won't be able to fly. He won't be able to do like lots of stuff.
yeah.
And no one will be able to defeat agents because no one could do that before the one showed
Mhm.
up. So
I mean, it'd be kind of
Interesting.
interesting. I mean, it'd probably play out almost like a Rogue One type of scenario where it's like you see the rise, the fall of like
You're
whatever.
trying to shit on Star Wars, Leo?
No, I'm not trying to shit on Star Wars. That does,
I
it
will.
Does, it does it. Star Wars does it by itself. Like, but like it'd probably just show like how. But I like Rogue One. Just to point it out there. But it
Rogue
would
One's
probably
not
be
bad.
like in that scenario where, it'll show you leading up until that point where, it'll just fills in the gap,
yeah.
right?
Hmm.
Is it a movie that's needed? Probably
Okay,
not.
but so future of the film industry, like what do you think the future of the film industry is?
I don't know. I think VR.
I was
VR?
gonna say
Okay.
the same thing.
So what would happen? Would you go to a movie theater, put on the VR glasses?
Yo, have you been to Scotiabank Theater?
Yeah, I have.
They
actually.
already have that
Yeah.
IMAX VR or whatever.
Really?
Yeah.
I've never
You've
been.
never been there.
I've been there once.
So I'm gonna
But
take
it's more
you.
like video games, though.
Yeah,
right?
it
It's
is,
not so
but
much
it's
like movies.
It is in movie theater. That's what I mean. You know
Fair,
what I mean?
fair,
Like
yeah.
IMAX is a huge company. They're developing all these technologies.
So like, what would you like to see in VR then?
I know
Horror
it's
movies.
weird to say.
Horror
But
movies.
That's exactly what they're gonna be going for, obviously in the beginning, and
Mhm.
Yeah.
porn, because it's
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, it's
Obvious stuff.
it's out there already.
yeah.
It's.
Well, thank you, Leo.
You would know.
Thank you.
I mean, I don't have a headset,
Leo.
but if I did,
We all know.
Where's Leo?
If you don't know, just
Leo.
listen
I'm
to
about-
episode 2.
Yeah.
about 6 inches deep in this chick.
God damn. God damn.
Oh, damn it.
Oh,
What was
but
that?
But okay, so the future of the film industry. Maybe this is a bit of a difficult question. I saw in the back of that question you talked about TIFF. So you went to see a lot of TIFF movies, didn't you?
Yeah.
So what were some of your favorite from those movies, and what were some of your least favorite?
Oh, mine and Leo's favorite movie was obviously The Predator.
I saw
it
The
was-
Predator. It
that
was
was-
fucking awful. It
was
was awful.
up-
I don't know.
Absolute trash.
I don't know if it was my favorite film that I've seen this year.
I got
mean,
into trouble
it
with
was-
my work
He
because
was-
of Predator.
Why?
Why?
What happened?
I told you, no? Okay.
No.
So I
share
work
it with us.
in a movie theater, not the same one that Leo works in, but a different one. But so I was working on concession, right? And then a couple guys came over and they're like, "Oh, can we have tickets to Predator?" And I'm like, "Unfortunately, we don't sell tickets to movies at the concession. You have to go to the box office." But then I'm like, But you know what? I think Destin led you here. So
Say it again, sir.
Destiny.
Destiny led you
I'm like,
here.
Destin led you here for
Oh,
me to
God.
tell you that please do not watch The Predator. It's an awful piece of trash. my manager was standing behind me. He was like, you should be encouraging people to spend money.
Yeah.
Like not telling them go home. You're not gonna see the movie that you wanted to see
It's-
today. It's like
such
opening
a,
you again.
oh my god, it was such a bad, like, it's just a fundamentally bad film.
Yeah.
It took everything that the first one, you know, built its bones on, like kind of it's like built the grounds. It's just like, all right, we've done and established this,
Yeah.
and like I didn't even care if they try to just emulate the whole thing. I wouldn't care, but they literally just mocked the entire first film. Like it was a great. Don't get me wrong, the TIFF experience was amazing because it was my first time doing like a midnight madness.
Okay.
Ours was like, yo, get ready because this is like it's gonna be crazy, this and that. And we're standing in the line, midnight, movie
Nice.
starts. The stars are literally like two rows behind us.
That's cool.
Olivia
One row
Munn,
behind us.
one row. Sorry, yeah,
One row behind
Yeah,
you?
it was
Yeah, we were
Jesus.
sitting in front of like Keegan Michael Key.
and yeah, and
What?
Olivia Munn. I'm just
I
like,
love him, man.
I was just
Olivia Munn
like,
too is
I was
good
just like, I'm just like, God damn. And then afterwards,
too. Yeah.
the sweetest thing. But
I have a question. Were they laughing at the movie?
They
Everyone
were
was-
mostly taking selfies in the beginning.
Yeah.
You remember?
yeah,
Or-
I didn't really look. I was just like, what the fuck? Oh shit. I didn't really get a good look at them, to be honest. I just like, oh shit. They were like,
Yeah,
they're
Leo was like freaked out. But it's like, you know, like whatever. Like everyone turns around to see them, so whatever. But like,
I just didn't want to be that person. It's just
Yeah.
like you know, like deers in the headlights kind of look, like
yeah.
like in open eyes, like you're here,
I know.
hello. You know what I mean?
You should have been like, you know, Olivia, what are you doing Sunday?
He's like, can I
She's like getting away from you.
going
right.
back to LA?
Bitch.
But the experience was amazing. It was
Yeah?
it was good. It was
That's
a
cool,
good
man.
time. All like just during the previews, you could just see like a lot of like the cool things I never really got to experience because I never really got to like fully experience just TIFF because
yeah.
as you know, and now Arsen knows too, it's tomato season. We just did our tomatoes, so usually during that time I'm in the garage and we're making tomatoes. Honestly, guys, if you look at the table that you guys are actually having microphones on, there's probably like little tomato
I
seeds.
noticed.
You noticed?
I
Yeah,
did.
it's it still hasn't made a full recovery, but
Oh,
yeah.
shit.
But overall, really good experience. But I think my favorite movie of TIFF, even though I didn't give it a very high rating, I like Hold the Dark, man. I like that film.
Yeah.
It
Hold
was
the Dark.
Hold the Dark.
Okay, what's that one about?
It's a new film by Jeremy Saulnier.
Okay.
Have you seen Blue Ruin or Green Room?
I've heard of Green Room is really
Yeah.
good.
So it's the same guy. And, he made this film for Netflix completely, and was one of his like was the guy who was writing with him and you know acting in his movies, Macon Blair, and that movie for me was disappointment. But I can see how like it had to hit its moments, and the moments
Okay.
were great. But
Like it was jonky in the way it was like there were moments where I'm like, okay, this piece is great, but then connecting it to this other piece, which was also kind of cool,
Mm-hmm.
it was like stiff. So it really had a really weird rhythm.
Okay.
But the points where it was like showing like, wow, like this is some cool stuff, and it just really goes out there, and I'm like, this is very like, it's very interesting.
my
Cool.
biggest problem was that it's more about you know how like there are movies about symbols and there are movies about plot.
Sure.
It started out as a movie about plot. It gives you a certain problem to solve, and the
Okay.
characters are trying to solve it, and it all leads to trying to understand why certain people did certain stuff.
Yeah.
I'm trying to be like very because it's premiering I think on Netflix on September 29th. So
Oh, really? Well,
because it's a Netflix movie,
okay.
and it's gonna be in at TIFF, TIFF Lightbox, which is the theater.
Oh, cool.
But it ends up so you have this one question following the characters, and then in the end the answer is it's all a metaphor, and you're like, oh great. So I was
Not the
watching
biggest
a movie
waste
about
of time.
metaphors.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean-
So that was Leo's favorite movie. What was your least favorite or your most favorite?
Okay, the least favorite was definitely Predator. It was
Like,
really, really bad.
I didn't see the TIFF, but I saw it in the movie theaters. I agree.
Okay, you wanna know how to make the movie even worse?
Yeah.
Imagine spending $52 on a single ticket.
Oh fuck! You poor bastard.
Nothing beats the director Shane Black, who starred in the first Predator.
Yeah.
Right. He walks up on stage, and man, if I ever saw a scam if I could ever point out a scam when I saw one, it was this moment, and we just didn't know it. He walks up on stage, he's like, "What's going on, everybody? Hopefully everyone's having a good night tonight. What you're gonna watch tonight is a movie. You're not watching a film, you're watching a movie." And everyone's like, "Yeah, like excitement and this and that."
Yeah.
Everyone's like getting like amped up, right?
They didn't know what they were getting excited for, though.
Yeah.
They didn't know.
Yeah.
So he's just like, yeah. He's just like, "Good guys, enjoy." He cuts. He leaves the stage. Movie plays, whatever. Applause.
Yeah.
He's nowhere to be found. The crew comes up to do like a Q&A.
And the director and the writer is not
director
there.
and the writer, they just left. They just
Jesus.
yeah, they just
That's not a good sign.
yeah.
That's messed up.
I don't know why he did that.
I know
not
why he did that. There's two reasons.
Because it was a shit movie.
two possible reasons.
Two
So either one or another. Either one that he was not happy with the movie,
Yeah.
or another one because I did see him go back to his seat. But so the movie has a lot of jokes, as you know it,
Yeah.
because they tried to turn it into comedy.
Some of the jokes kind of landed. Some of them.
Some of them,
Yeah.
but let's say in percentage-wise,
Maybe like 40%.
I wouldn't be that generous, but okay, let's say 40%.
Yeah.
And they mostly not in the beginning, and sometimes it was like catching myself just sitting in a full theater with a crowd who was like charged, like it's a midnight and people like like a world premiere, right?
Yeah.
So people like excited, and the joke comes on screen, and there is this moment, like when they leave a little bit of space for you to laugh about the joke, and
Yeah.
and it's like quiet.
Oh.
And I'm like, I wonder whether he just saw how not good
Not good.
it goes with the crowd, and he's just like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna leave.
Okay, now I was telling this idea to Leo earlier. How I think would be cool to make a Predator like sequel is
Not
instead
make
of
it.
don't make it. That's true. Or they can make it like instead of everyone trying to fight the Predator with weapons, why not try to kill the Predator with your brain? So like try to outsmart the Predator because Predator is pretty smart. So devise traps, like just kind of like methodically try and kill him.
But they did that in the first
muffle-
film.
And they
I
did it
know.
in Predators.
Well, yeah, I guess. I know. And then Leo was saying like make it a TV series, which I think would, or like a season or something like that. That'd be pretty cool.
It's gonna be hard. 'Cause
Is it enough material to make into a TV series?
You could.
I think so. I think it's one of those like
I said like more like a 10-episode kind of thing. Like it'd only be like one run.
But if you go into series, you need to do world building, and as we know from all the movies that so far are in
There's not
the
that much
franchise,
world.
no,
they're not
it's that
interesting?
every time they try to make it
Yeah.
about world building, they failed because it's not interesting. I don't give
Sure.
a shit whether Predators have dogs, like in the last one.
Yeah.
I
that's
don't give a
fucking
shit
dumb.
what the mottos behind it. The best
Yeah.
films were literally based on this. There is this killer, right? The alien killer whose sole purpose is to hunt something worthy of hunting. That's it. That's
Yeah.
super simple. There is no Maya pyramid somewhere in Antarctica
Sure.
where they breed aliens and then predators show up to fight them or whatever.
Yeah.
There is no this whole thing was they just looking for the best genetic material or whatever.
yeah, it's
Yeah, it's true.
Um,
So what's your favorite movie of TIFF then?
Okay, so I watched a couple of really good ones.
Good.
Let me think which one I want to start with. But I've seen A Star Is Born, which was okay.
Really?
It was
Hey,
alright
It looks good. I don't like country, but I like Bradley Cooper and
Yeah.
Lady Gaga.
It was
Yeah.
she was really good in this.
Nice.
Yeah, she is officially forgiven for the American Horror Story.
Oh, she's an
Where she
American
was
Horror.
awful and she won Golden Globe, and since then I don't watch Golden Globe. I might start watching it again.
Fair.
I'll give it a chance. But what is that? It was all right for a debut feature. Bradley Cooper was director
Yeah,
first
I
time.
heard, yeah.
It's good. Like
Okay.
it's a good first try. It hits a major high
Yeah.
somewhere in like one certain the movie, and then it just the movie never reaches to the same
Sure.
level.
Sure.
I watched this amazing film that has no poster, has no trailer. I picked it just because it had a badass title. So I sometimes tend to do that. So TIFF has a programming, like Leo mentioned, Midnight Madness, which is usually a genre films.
Okay.
It's hard to describe what exactly they do, but they sometimes do like horrors, like violent stuff, or like really interesting comedies. So if you can see like a connection between something like the Disaster Artist, or like the movie Hardcore Henry, or Predator,
Yeah.
Halloween, then you kind of understand what they're programming. So last year there was a movie that also had no trailer, no poster. It was called Brawl in Cell Block 99. I went to watch it and it was my favorite movie of the year.
Wow.
It was so violent, it was so good. This year there was a movie called The Standoff at the Sparrow Creek, and I'm like, this sounds like my movie. I'm gonna need to go watch it. So I went to watch it, and it was so damn good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you tell me? Can you tell us a little bit of the
Like
plot?
you mentioned it a little bit, but like you gotta just refresh us.
Yeah, so basically, the plot is this. So you know how like in states there are those militia groups, like the people who are like preparing to take the power off tyrannical government with weapons and stuff like that. So it's set in like some small town. There was a terror attack carried out on a cop funeral. A lot of cops are killed, and they're looking for whoever did that.
Mm-hmm.
So militia groups comes over to like their secret spot, and they understand that they will be the first one to be blamed for that. So they're like, okay, we need to take all our weapons and hide it, so they have nothing to prove. So they go to clean up the arsenal, and it's like all set in a war house, right? So when they have the secret meeting place, and they go to clean up all the weapons, and they realize that one of the guns is missing. And it's exactly the gun that was used in terror attacks. So now they understand that one of like I think 6 people in the room, is the one who did the attack.
Oh,
and
wow.
They need to figure out who it is.
That's cool.
So it's less of a Reservoir Dogs, how it sounds from a premise.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
But it is a very rare genre. It's an interrogation movie. It's a movie.
No
that
way.
it is a
I like
movie
that.
Yeah. That's
Oh.
completely based on beautiful cinematography that's super
Nice.
simple.
Nice.
On one location and people just talking.
It's kind of like Hateful Eight in a way. I mean, I know, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh wow, that's fucking
Kinda.
cool. That's fucking cool.
That sounds very.
When the
What's
trailer
it
comes,
called again, sorry?
The Standoff at the Sparrow Creek.
Okay, I definitely see it. Yeah.
It is so good.
It's not scary or anything, right?
No,
it's
no,
more
no.
just actiony, right? Or not actiony, but like just violent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would describe it as Reservoir Dogs meets No Country for Old Men.
Okay.
It's like stylistically it reminds of second one a lot. It's kind of like
Nice.
serious, slow, but like not too slow, and it's only an hour and a half, which is
It's perfect.
yeah,
Wow,
it
that's
was
perfect.
It was incredible. But the best movie I've seen this year was the Boy Erased.
Okay.
I heard that was a good one. A couple of my friends have been putting that one up, and it's like, wow, like that's.
What's the Boy Erased about?
So there was so this year Sundance, which is the biggest independent film festival, was won by a film called The Miseducation of Cameron Post, which is a movie about a girl with Chloe Grace Moretz, and she goes into conversion therapy, which is like one of those schools in the south of America when they try to heal people with homosexuality, whatever.
Okay.
So like super religious and everything. So it was like a very critical piece, obviously. And that movie released at TIFF Lightbox, and only there for like a month maybe. So didn't have a huge long run. And that movie was so good.
Oh.
And I watched it. I caught it the last day before TIFF, the cinema closed, because it closes like a few days before festival starts, so they can prepare, right?
Sure.
So I caught it the last day, and I was like, this is so good. And Boy Erased has basically the same premise, but about a guy.
Okay.
And after I watched Miseducation of Cameron Post, I was like, you know what? I really doubt that this time was like, Hollywood stars and like, a lot of like buzz around it is going to beat this small independent movie. But I went and it was so damn good.
Nice.
There are 2 movies with basically the same premise coming out. And I would say Boy Erased is like better. But it feels like it's also directed by the actor. So it's directed by Joel Edgerton.
Oh,
right?
nice.
And
Yeah.
it's his second film that he wrote and directed. First one was The Gift, which was like an
Yeah, I heard that
Australian
was really
film.
good. Yeah.
It was really good. But this one, in terms of like just directing and everything,
Hmm.
is just incredible filmmaking.
Nice.
It feels like David Fincher directed this
Oh,
movie.
really? That's cool.
It has similar.
And this is the
colors.
second film, right? That's
Second film.
Fuck.
that's good.
Good for him,
That's
man.
good.
Yeah.
A lot
Good
of
for him.
upcoming talent,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
And it basically has all Australian cast. Like if you think about it, almost every single Australian working in Hollywood, except for Hugh Jackman, made it in the movie.
Nice.
Poor
Nicole
Hugh
Kidman
Jackman.
and Russell Crowe play a couple.
Nice.
And I'm like, oh, because Joel Edgerton is also Australian. There is a flea from Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Not really.
Wait,
Yeah.
Flea's in the movie?
And Boy
Yeah.
Erased.
Huh?
And Boy Erased.
Yes.
Oh shit! I want
And
to see this.
he's great in this.
Oh no
he
way.
plays a horrible, horrible person, but he's amazing in this.
God.
Really?
What
Yeah.
kind of,
He's got a. It's
Yeah.
got his film.
his film,
career
yeah, his
is so
filmography
hilarious.
is very weird, but so good.
Yeah.
He's such an interesting character. Like,
He
if-
is.
like he. Oh man, Flea has done pretty much everything from
Back to the Future,
Future
Red Hot Chili Peppers.
to just like playing on stage with like different
Yeah.
colored hair and playing nude. Like
that
this
guy.
is like this is a wild dude, man.
That's right.
I've seen this interview. It was so Russia also had MTV at one point,
Okay.
right? And there was this show on YouTube where a guy in Russia goes and interviews interesting people, and he was interviewing people who were working for MTV Russia
Okay.
at the time. And one of the hosts, she was remembering how Red Hot Chili Peppers came to Russia first time, and that Flea, even though he looks like like a complete punk or whatever, like he's on drugs, he was just walking around and like checking out all the museums, and then he's like
Oh,
a
nice.
huge fan of Russian literature and everything.
He's
a-
I'm like,
he's
this
a
guy
very-
seriously?
He's
Wow.
a very very intricate individual. Like his first instrument wasn't even bass; it was trumpet. He's
Really? Wow.
Yeah, every kind of trumpet recording you hear on Chili Peppers records, keep an ear out for them, especially like on Stadium Arcadium.
Oh,
and,
really?
was a good record.
By the way,
Oh, nice.
yeah, there's a lot of I think, or is it Californication? There's a lot of trumpet songs. Anyways, regardless,
Hmm.
all the trumpet parts like that's all him, and he's actually like a jazz trumpet player. Then like, oh, pick up
Wow.
bass. I think Anthony Kiedis said like, and then he just didn't, and he's like one of the best. I think probably one of the, well, at least one of my favorite bass players out there.
Nice.
He's just like
Nice.
so
he's,
good.
He's awesome.
He's just super talented.
He is.
Yeah.
So maybe with Joel Edgerton's second film, we should go into our second topic.
The way Michael ties these like
This is
he
incredible.
just I know he's just
I'm
like,
really bad at them.
he's just
I just try.
he's
Michael's
just-
Michael's basically ADing this podcast
Yeah,
right now.
basically.
He's like, okay, these guys
All
have
right,
to shut the
moving
fuck
on.
up now.
moving on.
I'm
folks.
just like hoping it's not another topic that I put it in.
No,
Oh,
dude.
right.
Yeah, that was a good topic.
okay. Here,
it
let's.
My topics are really, really broad, so I apologize.
It's
ahead
all
of
good,
time.
man. It's all good.
I hope it's not Leo's topic either, because I can only imagine what he put in there.
Favorite porn site.
It's another one of Arsen's topics.
Oh,
Oh,
shit.
fantastic.
Because you have the neatest writing out of all of us.
That's true. That's most likely
Thank
true.
you.
Favorite video games. Very nice.
Yes.
Nice
Yes.
broad topic.
Yes.
And-
Actually, dude, this is one I put in pretty recently. So, okay. So my favorite video game. You talked about it briefly before. Okay, it's a toss-up, I think, between Last of Us and Uncharted 2. So-
yes,
So Last of Us, one of the best games of all time. It's about this man, and so at the very beginning, the story starts off with him and his daughter, and his daughter. You play the daughter for the first little bit. Slowly, you find out that the zombie apocalypse was happening. They're trying to escape, trying to go away. With the dad and the daughter go try and just escape basically. All of a sudden you see this run into this official. The official's like, he gets message on his intercom is like, yeah, just kill the girl, because I think she got bit or something like that.
no, because they just really scared.
They're really
right?
scared, yeah. So they just shoot her.
I thought they shoot her by accident.
No, they shoot her. They
'cause,
shot her on purpose.
They show up in front of this military guy, and he's like, "Oh, I see alive people outside the perimeter." Which
Yeah.
is a quarantine, right? Perimeter.
Yeah.
So they closed it, and so whoever's outside the perimeter means they possibly
Yeah.
are infected. So
Yeah.
He got something message like, okay, and then he starts shooting them.
So it goes flash to 30 years later. Joel.
15. Isn't
15. Yeah, you're right.
It? Yeah, 15 years.
Anyway.
Remember those like those details.
Yeah. So anyway, 15 years later, Joel is with this woman, and all of a sudden this
Tess.
girl, Tess, her name's Tess.
Tess.
Okay, around no, Tess is the partner that he's with.
Yeah, that's what
Who's the girl? Ellie.
Ellie.
Yes,
Yeah.
Ellie.
How can you forget?
No,
that?
I just wanted to make sure. Ellie comes along, and you find out that she got bit, too, but she was immune. Like, so she's one of the only people, at least that you know of, that got bit and is immune. So your end goal is to bring her to the research facility. One of the best sequences of any game. The winter sequence is one of the best sequence, if you guys know what I'm talking about. So emotional. It's like Walking Dead, but in a much more personal level. It's like if Rick and Carl had a story by themselves, but like it's a better version of it. It's a way better version of it.
Carl is horrible character.
Yeah.
I was so glad when he died.
I
Okay,
never
well,
watched
that-
Walking
that-
Dead,
that-
and
I wish
now
he
I'm
died
not
in
gonna
first
watch it
episode.
anymore.
Because
All
then-
right. Well, I knew I thought he did die, and then that's a definite for sure spoiler because I didn't get that far. You fuck.
What do you mean? You haven't
No.
seen the last season?
No, I saw all
Okay.
the other seasons aside
Then
from that.
good news, he does die.
Damn it. I like Carl.
Yo,
Anyway.
that show used to be really good in feeling how I feel about the characters. Because every time I would be like, damn, I starting to hate this, the whatever his wife was called, Laura.
Michonne? Oh no, Laura.
Right?
Okay, yeah.
I'm like, damn, she's so annoying. Next episode she dies, and I'm like, yes. Then I was like Andrea or whatever her name
Oh,
was, the blonde
yeah.
girl. I was
The
like,
sniper.
damn it, like, come on, like you just really annoying. Then the governor, at some point I was like sitting there, I'm like, oh my god, the governor is just like becoming such a very stereotypical villain, and he
Yeah.
dies. Then like in a couple episodes later, I'm like, great, they're like just killing everyone I don't like.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay,
I did feel
so-
bad for Glenn though.
Fair. Glenn said. So Last of Us and probably what Uncharted 2. I love the Drake series. Nolan North is one of the best voice actors in my opinion ever.
Oh, he's good. He does Deadpool in the Deadpool
yeah.
games.
He does, yeah. And
Yeah,
Uncharted
what-
4 is probably
What, man? What, Arsen?
What? No, I mean, like that's not the highlights of his career. You cannot talk about Nolan North and like, oh yeah, Nolan North is the Deadpool.
I like
Not
Deadpool,
like
and I'm
Nathan
like
Drake,
Nathan Drake. I know, but I'm like
He did the
apart
Penguin
from
in,
Nathan Drake,
in
but he does
Batman
the,
Arkham too.
he does what?
He did the Penguin in Batman Arkham.
Oh,
like the
really?
Arkham
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
That's cool.
He did lots of stuff.
He did lots of stuff.
That
but,
was yeah. Continue. Sorry.
Oh no, sorry. That's pretty much like just like I'm in love with like Naughty Dog. I think you were saying like Telltale's your favorite. One of your
not
favorites.
Second favorite.
favorite.
After Naughty Dog.
And I
obviously.
just finished God of War. Actually, we talked about this pretty
It's
recently.
not Naughty Dog.
No, it's not Naughty Dog. It's Santa Monica Studios, and really great game overall. Really great story. There's so much to unpack that I still haven't unpacked yet, but I finished like the main story.
The newest one.
The newest one, yeah.
yeah.
So those are my favorite games. What are your favorite games?
Well,
You go, Arsen.
okay.
'Cause
Well,
I'm gonna be the black sheep of all you guys here.
Oh my god, he's gonna talk about some Nintendo bullshit. I'm telling you, he's gonna be like, well, my favorite game is Mario 64, Nope. And it follows a man with a mustache who goes through the levels. What is it? I agree with you completely, because like I think Last of Us is just like it's not just the pinnacle of what games are capable of,
Yes,
like
yeah.
storytelling wise, but I think it's like it's one of the best stories told, period. Like I
Yeah,
don't
I
think
agree.
there are many books
Yeah.
that rise to that level. I don't
Yes.
think there are many movies that can get to the same
Yeah.
point.
Well, because you play as the character, right?
Yeah.
Your decisions are the character's decisions.
Yeah.
I mean, although unfortunately it's not very like pick your own adventure kind of thing. It's very linear, but it's still a really good linear fucking story.
It's
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
linear, but it still gives you control to like there's different options of how you can.
I'll
get
kill
to that
like
point.
either enemies or kill the zombies,
well, you
stuff
just
like that.
some
yeah.
people are very brash, some people are very stealthy.
Yeah, and the cool
you
thing
know.
is that you have limited supply, so you can't just go run and gun.
I mean,
You know what I
by the end, my personal playthrough, by the end of the game, because I stockpiled so much stuff and I played half the game stealth, the other half I was just fucking ravaging through people
Okay.
with shifts.
Shit.
I read the interview with one of them. I think it wasn't Druckmann, it was the other guy. don't remember his name, so I'm not gonna say it. But he was talking about how the games were designed to be kind of go in with the whole plot in a way that because in the beginning it's kind of difficult. Like it's kind of difficult to even like face one enemy, like one zombie. So
It is actually kind of difficult. Yeah.
you're kind of running away from them in the beginning, and then like like if there is a guy with a gun, like maybe 3 of them will be given to you, and the whole mechanic of like you craft stuff, you throw stuff, and you throw some like bottles and bricks to like destruct them, and then you collect your weapons and stuff like that. It was all meant to teach you how to play. So in the end of the game, if you haven't played it, just fucking sell your kidney and buy PlayStation and play that game. But when it goes into like a lot of people with machine guns versus you,
that's true. Yeah.
you are a killing machine.
Yeah.
Because you as a player know how to be a killing machine in this world now.
Yes.
Because in the beginning, it's hard to handle 1 or 2 enemies. In the end, when you have all these abilities and you know how to use them, and the game mechanics, like you just kill everyone. And there was a really cool thing they also said in an interview is that the ending. Okay,
You haven't played the game, right? Or fully at least.
What do you mean? I've
you finished it?
Yeah,
Oh, fuck.
I beat it.
Sorry,
I bet
my bad.
bet the DLC.
if you
I
haven't turned
I
off
didn't
this,
even do the DLC actually yet.
if you haven't turned off this podcast right now and go play it because I'm about to spoil it.
Maybe just like skip like 2 minutes down.
Yeah, skip 2 minutes down.
Yeah.
Listen, this game came out in 2013.
That's
Right.
not an excuse though.
It is an excuse. Get off for your ass. Play this game because we're gonna spoil
But
it.
it's
for
one
you
of
right
those
now.
games you just gotta play.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah. So skip 2 minutes from
Yeah,
now.
skip 2 minutes. I'm gonna do it in 2 minutes.
'Kay.
So in the ending, basically he gets Ellie to the place where she's supposed to be, where the scientists are supposedly need to get her blood or whatever to cure the infection. But you play as Joel. Someone walks into him to his room and says that they have to kill Ellie because they have to kill her to get the material to create
Yes.
the cure. So he goes on this basically a massacre and he kills all of them, completely kills all of them just to save her.
Yes.
And there was one moment when they were talking whether they were deciding to make it a cutscene or make it playable. And it's the moment when you actually go through the level.
In the hospital room, right?
You go to the hospital, the surgery room where she's
Yeah.
already being like on a table and the people are ready, like to cut her in pieces. And you can play that thing
Yeah.
and you just walk in there and there are doctors who have no weapons, nothing, and you kill them.
Yeah.
Because the game doesn't tell you to kill them, but you will kill them because at that point you'll be so into Joel's head emotionally that you are going there and you're like, what the fuck are you doing to Ellie? And you kill all of them.
You killed all. Okay. And in all fairness, actually, I was one of probably the few people I didn't shoot. I didn't
You're
mean
a
to kill the
monster.
doctor.
You
No,
didn't
I didn't
kill
mean
him
to,
off?
I
Oh
didn't
my
mean
god!
to.
I'm just like smash that guy's head against the fucking ground.
Jesus Christ.
You cannot do that.
No,
you
you
can.
don't.
There's one of the things you hold square, and he does like.
Oh, yeah, that's
there's,
true.
there's execution. My
I
dad
just
was.
shot them all in the head.
No. There's
Michael, you're a monster.
No, I
You
didn't.
didn't
I
kill a
only,
helpless doctor.
I only killed like I tried to shoot his hand, and then all of a sudden just like ugh.
That bastard was trying to save humanity.
My dad walked in on me on that during
Yeah.
that scene. He's like, "What the hell's going on over here?" Because if you go to each one of them, he does a certain thing, and it's fucking.
Oh,
brutal.
really?
Like one, he'll get like
Wow.
a shiv, put the guy's like head on the shiv.
Shit.
Yeah, like he'll just like stab his head through the shiv. He'll get one guy just literally punches the fuck like it's the most. It was the most satisfying thing I've
God
seen.
damn it.
Because I'm just like,
All right.
I'm just like square. Just, next one square.
All right. Our 2 minutes is done. Our 2 minutes is done. People who have skipped 2 minutes are
yeah. It's,
are now it's not spoiler free. Spoiler free.
yeah.
Now
You're gonna edit it so it'd be exactly 2 minutes though, right?
I could probably do that. No problem.
Yeah, but just like exactly 2 minutes.
All right. So, Arsen, you said probably Last of Us is one of your favorite games.
Yeah.
Now, what's your other favorite games? Or-
Uncharted.
My
Uncharted
man.
series.
My man. Well, which one's
Yeah.
your favorite out of the Uncharted?
Out of all of them,
Yeah.
it's hard to say because I don't know if that series is actually as much about plot. I don't like the.
I love the plot. The plot.
Yeah, but it's like it's less about like immediate like sequence of events what they're doing. I think it's always was way more focused on the characters.
That's true. Yeah. I see. Okay. I see.
You cannot remember exactly how they found, a pathway to Shambhala or like that Akbar city in the third one.
I've never played them.
Yeah, so that's what I mean.
El
You cannot
Dorado,
spoil
yeah.
that games without like you're not gonna miss out much when you be like, oh, and then they found Shambhala, and like, oh damn it.
Okay, I don't know. I'm just waiting for Arsen to give me back the collection. Whenever you get those,
yeah, damn it.
whenever you get those platinum
if you're
trophies.
listening, this Leo is a sane person.
Insane or a saint?
Saint.
Saint. Okay,
Did I
saint.
say insane?
I thought
Yeah, that wouldn't
shit.
be too much for me.
Same playing field.
Yeah, so he gave me an Uncharted collection so I can replay them all. But damn it, the
Nice.
first one was really good because it wrapped the stories so well.
The fourth
The
one. You
fourth
mean?
one,
Yeah,
yeah.
The fourth one. It. I think we talked about this one time. I think the fourth one might be the best gameplay.
Yeah, for
maybe
sure.
story. The second one I think is probably maybe a little bit tighter.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but it's just how they took the characters and then just because I played the first one. It was my first game on PlayStation 3.
Nice.
So I was always a PlayStation guy. Like
yeah.
Nintendo was never popular in the parts of the world where I'm from.
Rip.
So PlayStation 1, I remember the morning of like I think it was a Christmas morning when my parents gave me PlayStation 1.
Nice.
And it was the most insane thing I ever owned in my life. I don't
Nice.
remember being so happy about anything in my life.
Did you hear they're making a PlayStation Mini?
Yeah, I know, but they don't doing the games that I would play,
No, what are they doing? Like what
They're
games?
doing like taking I would play, but the rest of them is like some bullshit. I know. Like it's weird collection of games for do like a first Metal Gear Solid, do first Silent Hill, do Donald Duck the game. That was freaking incredible.
Donald.
Yeah,
What?
do original.
Donald Duck.
Metal Gear Solid, Silent Hill.
Have you
Donald Duck the game.
Listen here, you heretic. Have you ever fucking played Donald Duck the game for PlayStation
No.
1?
No. What the-
That game was insanely good. It was like Leo just like twisted his
I'm ready.
Yeah,
I'm ready for
his
you.
mixer because he understands I'm gonna be peeking a lot right now. So damn it, that game was so good. Google it right now.
Okay.
Google it.
Not right now. Okay,
Okay,
we'll
later.
Google it after. But
Fair.
Uncharted is just like how it ended.
Yeah.
The whole Force one. It made me freaking cry because
Yeah.
at that point I knew those characters for 10 years. And
Fair. Yeah,
understanding
that's
that
true.
the game that I bought
Yeah.
when I bought my third PlayStation 3,
Yeah.
and I bought Uncharted first one, and it was the only game I bought. And I played through it, and I remember I was like, okay, I'm gonna finish this game. I'm gonna buy next game, because I'm gonna go with my parents and say, hey, I finished this game. Can you buy me another one, please? And I remember just finishing it. I'm like a fuck another game. I'm just gonna play this one again. And
Nice.
so I replayed it immediately after I finished it. And 10 years since then, every single time Uncharted would come out,
Yeah.
I would be fucking playing. I remember when the second one came out.
Yeah, that's an amazing game.
I remember telling my friends that like I will be unreachable for like a week, and I said like you will
Even the
not be able to
multiplayer was
reach
good
me.
in that game.
Like I would just come back from school.
Yeah.
I would just sit on the floor because I didn't want to charge my my gamepad and then lie in the bed or whatever. So I would just sit super close to the TV like a kid.
Nice.
It was a cord connected to PlayStation all the time. We just play it. My mother would just open the door, slide me like a plate of sandwiches, and just quietly leave.
It's like you're in prison or something.
Yeah.
But you're not in prison because you're playing the best game of all
Yeah.
time.
And it's like, and it was the same one was the third one, and I remember
Nice.
like I was just like I remember like I got sick when the third one came out, and I was just like that's perfect. That's perfect.
It wasn't that great of a game, let's be honest.
I don't know. I still liked it, but that's the thing. Like the plot was not great. The thing that pissed me off the most was that okay, even though I love Sully, when he dies in the end, and it's when he fake dies.
To be honest, I completely forgot about that part.
So Drake starts having hallucinations, and he sees.
oh,
Sully
that's right.
die,
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
And
yeah,
then
yeah,
it's
yeah,
really
yeah,
he
that's
didn't
right,
die.
yeah.
But the whole game was about
Yeah, yeah.
his relationships with Sally.
Oh, and then when he was a young kid too, and yeah.
Yeah, and it was just like it felt like a forced decision to like you just squeezed out of me So many tears.
Yeah, it's true.
And then you telling me, oh, it was just a joke, and it's like,
fuck.
I love him though. Like, I mean, in the fourth one, he's absolutely great.
Sully?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, he's great all the time.
He is
Damn
great
it.
all the time, yeah.
Yeah. Okay,
So,
Leo,
Leo,
tell us
what's
about your Nintendo game.
favorite games, Leo?
I give you $5 for Nintendo.
Okay, listen.
Well, for sure, it's gonna,
Okay,
it's gonna be.
No,
for
fuck you
Nintendo.
guys. Listen. Okay, one of my favorite games
Okay.
ever was Halo 3. I
Really?
I lost you
played.
$5.
Yeah. Oh, I love. Listen, I love my Nintendo games. God, I love the Legend of Zelda franchise. I still haven't beaten Breath of the Wild because I just don't want that game to end because it's so damn good. It's and one game of the year, and rightfully so. But going back to Halo, that was like the first game I ever owned on like Xbox, and because up until that point I was just a Nintendo like dude. I'm like, okay, I want to get like another console that's not Nintendo. I'm like, should I go PlayStation? Should I go Xbox? And at the time, 360 was, sorry, Arsen, miles ahead of Sony.
It's good. It's a good thing Arsen is closer to you, Leo, because he might try and strangle you.
So I mean, the first person like the first party titles that Xbox had just appealed to me more, just because they were just so like, I don't know, more online driven, and I wanted that multiplayer because most of the Nintendo titles I owned were very single player and stuff like that. So Halo 3 came out, and I'm like, man, I want to get this. Then I got Xbox Live, which is like my first online experience.
Yeah.
And my God, I clocked in so many hours into that game that like grades were suffering. My parents were angry at me all the time, but it was worth it. And it was just such
It was worth it.
It was worth it. I mean, hell, we even played it again like not too long, a couple of months ago. You're looking at me very like sternly, Arsen. Is it?
No, it's
It's
okay.
it's
You're absolutely fucking wrong about PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, but that's okay.
I mean, like, so I love Halo 3. And then for me, it's just like the Legend of Zelda franchise is amazing. One of my favorite games, Wind Waker. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker is a phenomenal game.
Never played a single one. Never played a single.
Which is
Zelda.
amazing because you love adventure games because you like Uncharted, and
Yeah.
like
Adventure's a little bit different than
What?
Zelda's a little bit different than.
It is less.
No, really.
If anything, if you played God of War and played Zelda, then that'd be kind of similar.
What?
Yeah.
What? Not even. What do
Dude,
you
they're
mean?
both
See,
RPGs.
if Leo is speaking,
No.
there's no one there to control his
Yeah.
levels.
They're not RPGs. They're not
Well,
RPGs. They're adventure games. They
They are kind of RPGs. They're
No,
action RPGs. Action RPGs.
No, there's nothing you level up.
Do you have skill trees?
Nope.
You don't have skill trees.
There's no skill trees.
Oh, there's those skill trees in Link and Zelda.
No, there's no
Really?
skill
Really?
trees. There's no
Oh.
skill trees in Zelda.
You can buy shit though.
You can buy like
It's kind of
you
like
can
that in
upgrade
God of
your
War
Zelda?
too. Yeah.
no.
You can upgrade your Zelda.
No, in Breath of the Wild, or at least in the up until the games before leading up to Breath of the Wild, is you solve like you go to the dungeons, right? And in these dungeons, there's like let's say our heart piece of heart that you
Yeah.
can upgrade your life by beating the boss.
This is like God of War.
What in the
I'm trying to
the
piss you- I'm
dungeons?
just trying to piss you off.
You don't know. Jesus Christ! You guys know nothing about Zelda games.
Very little.
Okay.
I know that the triangles.
The Triforce, yes.
Yes.
The Triforce, yes.
Listen, guys. Okay.
Okay. Anyways.
Leo's facial expressions right now are fucking priceless.
Anyways, so you don't know anything. Okay, I'm gonna give you guys a little backstory. So, anyways, in every Zelda game, or most every Zelda game, Ganon is trying to take over the world using the Triforce of Power. So the Triforce, the triangle, each triangle represents something, right? So,
Okay.
fuck, man.
No,
Anyways, so
fuck.
there's courage, there's wisdom, and there's power, right? Link as a hero, he's blessed with courage. Zelda has the Triforce of wisdom, and Ganon has the Triforce of power, right?
Mm-hmm.
His end goal is to try to collect the other three. That way, he has the power of the gods. Basically, the gods have, when they're all formed together, you basically rule the land, kind of thing. And the gods eventually scatter those pieces across the land, so the people protect each piece. Ganon always has a piece of him on him because he's always
Who's
getting-
Voldemort?
We
then?
mean
He's-
always.
What? In every game, it's kind of like embedded in him because he's like he's like a demon. He's managed to like harness that power. So they in every game they try to seal him away into like a special like realm or something, but he always manages to like break free. And Link is always resurrected as a different hero.
Who's putting him in these realms? They gotta do a fucking better job.
Link is so Link seals him away. So every game they seal him away, but then he manages to get out or whatever, or he finds a way to escape. And it gets complicated.
So it's the same antagonist for
Yeah,
how many games?
It's a number. It's not the same antagonist. It's different reincarnations. So everybody gets reincarnated. So like
Okay.
Link gets reincarnated, Zelda gets reincarnated, Ganon gets reincarnated.
But do they remember the previous games?
What?
Do they remember previous games?
No.
So it's like the game that remakes itself every single time.
Kind of, but something like different happens. So basically like from the very first one, like the very first game, it shows how in this it's really weird. Like the very first game in the series is when Ganon's taking over everything. But the very like in the time like there's a timeline when everything happens, and every game that's introduced it fits somewhere different in the timeline.
Okay.
So the latest one, Breath of the Wild, kind of fits in this timeline where everything's gone to shit.
That's an interesting
So
take.
and then but Wind Waker, the one I really like, is a scenario where after the events of this other game, he breaks free and he floods the entire world.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyways, in Zelda, it's more like Uncharted because you have to explore different areas. It's all about adventuring and finding different items and stuff like that, solving puzzles.
Wait,
And
I just
then
have one quick question.
yes.
Does Link have a gun?
No. He's got a
so
bow and
no
arrow.
one dies?
What do you mean? People die all the time.
I understand. In Zelda, do people die?
Yeah, people die.
Okay.
The first, the Breath of the Wild, the first
Do they have blood?
what? No.
Wait.
Here's my problem with Nintendo.
No. Wait a second.
Oh, actually, Twilight Princess, they got a little bit of put
Of
a blood
course,
in there.
they princess. Does it happen once a month?
Oh my god.
God damn it, Arsen.
I am disgusted that I said this joke, but someone had to.
Anyways,
God damn it, Arsen.
so in Wind Waker, you play as this because in every game, the hero's kind of born into it, right? Every hero's kind of blessed with this power, but in Wind Waker, you're just a regular kid, and you celebrate that this hero that once existed, kind of thing, and you find out your sister gets like kidnapped, right, by this like evil bird, and fuck, man, I'm just trying to explain this.
Sorry.
I just-
it was like a really, really, like, you know, you're like describing this thing and it becomes like, oh, nice. Like it got nipped by this.
It's a giant demon bird that can-
surprise.
So basically,
Ganon.
Ganon is he's plotting, and he's in. Is this gonna sound really like
Childish?
Aryan race type thing? But he's basically looking for girls that have like blonde hair and blue eyes.
Oh God.
Yeah, and now that I think about it, so he's kidnapping all
He's
these.
like Johnny
blonde,
Depp.
Sure. Yeah, and he's trying to look for. He's looking
Okay,
for
no one
girls.
appreciated
He's
this
just
joke.
like he's just so he's looking for girls that have like blonde hair. So your sister has blonde hair in the game, and then he kidnaps her, and then afterwards it's your quest to like rescue her back. In this scene.
Oh, and then she kind of became Zelda. Then is what you're trying to say?
No,
Oh.
no.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
just saying, but like it's it's
Oh.
about it's the hero's like the archetypal hero's journey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It plays that to the T. Like you start off with like 3 hearts, which is your life, and you're basically weak, so you can't really you have a shitty sword, and then you kind of play through the game, and every major boss you defeat, you get a heart container. Then
Nice.
afterwards, throughout the land, there's different fragments of a heart container. Every time you collect 4, you get another piece. So if you get 4 of them, right, you get another heart container, so you get stronger.
Nice.
So it's like God of War.
How is it like God of War?
God,
How is it like? How on fucking earth is it like God of War?
Because you have like different equipment. And,
Don't you have-
armor
Yeah,
and
there's
weapons?
kind of heart in God of War 2.
What?
Yeah.
There's kind of heart. You can pick up carts and it increases your health.
Okay, you know what? Zelda was first, so let's say Zelda.
Okay.
God of War is like Zelda.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure. It's not as okay. Yeah.
How many
Okay.
Zelda games there are?
A lot.
Like,
Like
8 or 9?
No, like 20.
Shit, really?
Whoa.
Oh, yeah,
Shit.
dude.
I was not
think
expecting that.
20.
Dude, okay, well, I could probably name them all off. There's one in 86, 87, and then afterwards Super Nintendo. Then you have 2 for the N64, and then you have 2 for the GameCube, and then 1 for the Wii, and then afterwards 1 for the Wii U. Right?
This is really good podcasting, man. This is really good.
Sorry, 1 for the Wii U Switch. So that's 9 in just the
consoles.
The consoles.
Yeah.
Then there's
And
then there's the
and
handheld titles.
Did
Yeah,
you play all
probably.
of them?
I played a majority of them.
Damn it.
I
Yeah.
played a majority of them. Like the DS ones are kind of cool. Like the Switch, I'll show you afterwards, and you'll be like, I guarantee you'll probably be like, this isn't half bad. You can get it. Like
I'm not saying it's bad.
I just
Okay, so there is this problem with me in Nintendo games specifically. I don't play, and this is completely my problem. I don't play games for mechanics. If it's cool gameplay, I'm fine with it. Like, I'll play and it'll be fun and whatever. But gameplay it gets boring to me to just play the game. I only usually finish the games because the stories
Yeah,
are
that's
really
kind
good.
of true. I feel the same
So
way.
for me, Nintendo, yes, I understand there is a story and everything like that, but it's nothing. It's a story for the sake of gameplay, and I would much rather prefer a gameplay to be for the sake of story. You know what I mean? Like,
I think sometimes in Uncharted and let's just say Last of Us,
yeah,
you play for the cutscenes.
yeah.
You play to the cutscenes, so you can see
I get
like the cutscenes and all the story behind it.
There was this horrible game called Spec Ops: The Line, and it's a
I've
horrible game.
No, I know that one. That's one's fucked. You play as a sniper, right?
No.
Yeah,
that's
that's what I was thinking too. I was thinking of
Spec
that one
Ops: The
too.
Line is where you play in like post-apocalyptic Dubai.
Oh, maybe
Yeah.
we're thinking the same one. Are we sure?
So it's like you're in the desert. Like,
Yeah. You have a
Dubai
team, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
You have a team
do,
with
yeah.
you?
It is, but you're not a sniper. But the
No, I know.
gameplay is horrible. It's absolutely
never mind.
garbage. But the story is so damn good.
it's really
Was it like some double crossing at the end of it
Yeah,
or something like that?
that's
Yeah.
you kill someone on your own squad, right?
And-
Something like that.
okay, so in the end, so that game is basically the closest any story, in my opinion, got to Apocalypse Now.
Oh well.
Because it's basically ripping off Apocalypse Now. So it's nothing like really
Groundbreaking.
groundbreaking, but they've put it so well. But the idea was that the whole game you think you are a savior, right? That you are a good guy, and in the end it turns out that you were the bad guy the whole time.
Wow.
And I mean, not like the bad guy in terms of like, oh, you were sent here with the wrong mission or whatever, but like people you kill in the game, you start realizing that they set up certain gameplay elements, like certain scenes, when you feel like the game doesn't give you objective to kill someone, but you just kill them,
Oh well.
because that's how video games works,
Shit.
But
Nice.
then in the end it says, why did you kill all those people? And you're like, well, it's that's
Yeah.
how video games work.
It's kind of like the Modern Warfare 2 mission.
Yeah. When you
It
kill
was-
everyone in the airport.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was banned. And like I know in Russia that was banned.
It was banned. It was cut off from the copy of the game, and because we have the same publishers like in Ukraine,
Yeah, was it cut off too?
It was cut off too, but then later on I downloaded it from Steam, but also Russian version, right?
Mm-hmm.
And it asked me in the beginning, do I wanna see? So it was like
it
like,
always asked
there
that
was
at the beginning.
disclaimer
Yeah.
popping up, and it was asking like the next mission has a lot of violence and cruelty, and it's like it's extremely gory. Would you like to skip it? And I'm like, fuck no. Please. That's why I spend money on this game.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
How about Arsen that you skipped to the third topic?
Oh,
Oh,
my
man.
god.
That
Fuck,
was
man. You're just gonna cut him off just like that?
Wow.
Sorry,
Wow.
dude.
That's okay.
Unless did you have more to say about Call of Duty?
Did I have more to say about Call of
Modern
Duty?
Warfare 2.
Call of Duty Black Ops is the best Call of Duty so far.
Fair
Thank
enough.
you.
I
The
kind
very-
of agree.
The OG
yeah.
one, I agree.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
think I
original one
agree.
was Gary Oldman being Viktor Reznov,
Yeah.
the Russian guy.
Yo, gun game.
Oh, I know. The
Sticks and
multiplayer
Stones?
was the best in that game.
Sticks and
Sticks
Stones.
and
Never
Stones,
played
yeah.
a single multiplayer game.
Really,
Yeah.
I owned every single Call of Duty.
dude.
I never
Really?
played a single. I don't play multiplayer. There's no story.
No, I know there's no story, but dude, Sticks and Stones.
Yeah, and that game was amazing.
Basically, like there's an ante. Like it's basically like poker, but with guns and tomahawks and crossbows, and basically you're basically walking around the map. And every time you get a kill with a crossbow, you rise through the ranks. You
Or like the shoot. I forgot the knife that like.
yeah, there's a ballistic knife.
a ballistic knife.
Yeah.
That's the one.
So if you
yeah,
get a
yeah.
kill with the crossbow,
Yeah.
you earn points. But if you kill with the ballistic knife, you earn even more points, right? Because it's harder to like aim that. But if you throw a tomahawk in somebody and they land,
They go to 0.
all their points go down to 0. Your goal of the game is to get to like 2,000 or something points. So basically, you have to just keep.
I don't think it was objective based. I think it's just more you have to get first and then just try and keep first. Every time, no matter.
you have to get
oh,
to
it's 2000. Oh, okay,
you
okay.
have to get to those certain number of points, and before like the game, it's either before the timer ends or if that person gets to the
yeah.
points first.
Remember, I
You
used to
lost
play.
me at points.
I
Like,
used to-
as I said,
I used to
points
always.
is not enough motivation for me to play something.
Just a quick thing. I used to always play that with Leo, and I used to always search for him and like have the throwing knife ready, just so I could always bring him down to
Yeah,
0.
It was just, and then it got to the point where me and Michael wouldn't even just play to win. It was just who could just demote the other person faster.
pretty
And it
much.
was just like we just walk
Even
around.
faster that we can switch to our third
Third
topic.
All right, Arsen. I would give you a high five. Can we reach?
But we're so far away. But we tried.
It worked.
that.
It worked.
I wish we had a camera here. You could have
There's
seen those.
limited budget, Arsen.
We could have seen
limited
those
budget.
facial expressions on Leo's face when he was like, we were like. So Zelda is like what? It's like Triforce and stuff, and Leo was just like, what the fuck?
The fuck?
Okay,
Hey,
I'm
stop
taking,
feeling that thing. Just pick something, dude.
Just don't look at it.
I'm
Just-
taking
just
the
don't look at it.
worst piece of paper because I'm assuming it's Leo's. Because it's like so janky and everything. Are you fucking kidding me? Okay, this is my topic.
That's it.
All
Yeah,
right.
you got a hat trick. Nice.
You got a hat trick.
No, please.
What?
That's a bullshit topic.
Come
Okay,
on,
what is it?
Okay.
You got to read it. You
I
have
literally, I didn't know what to write. So I was like, oh, virtual reality. So it's going to be basically a mix between the first topic we did and
All
the
right,
second
fuck it.
topic.
Pick another one. Pick
Yeah,
another
pick
one.
another one.
Pick
So it's
another
fuck
one.
This guy denied his hat trick. That's just what.
Yeah, you know,
Man, like
We did talk about this already, though.
that is true.
some heroes don't wear capes, you know.
Yeah. Oh, this is mine.
Okay.
That's mine because you can't even read it.
Okay.
Okay. So,
Can you read it?
one challenge
Yeah, it's mine.
you overcome recently
Overcame, but
overcame. It's
Is it an L? I probably put the little line very
Small.
Michael, you're gonna be the judge.
Okay.
It doesn't have an oh.
Okay, the listeners can't read.
Okay.
Read it. The
One
guy-
challenge you overcame recently that
Yeah.
made you want to blow your brains out.
All right, Leo.
Okay.
That's
So,
that's
when I
pretty,
woke up this morning-
graphic.
Okay, firstly, Michael's gonna tell me whether he put an A in overcame.
I can kind of see it, but it looks more like overcome.
Okay, fine. Okay,
You done goofed.
All right.
Out here.
We out
That's
here, my
Arsen.
guy.
That's Arsen making fun of Leo
Yeah.
in his intro every time. Anyway,
Yeah.
so what's a one challenge you overcame that made you want to blow your brains out?
No, that made you want to blow your brains out. Like one challenge, you're like, "Fuck, man! Like I
God
gotta get the.
damn.
I'm either gonna do this or I'm gonna kill myself."
God damn, that's so
we gotta.
bad.
We have to up the ante. That's what we gotta do.
Damn it. So this morning. Fuck. Do I have to start? Do you have something to tell us, Leo?
No, you can tell us. You
Do you
saying-
need
you
help?
Said, you said no.
Yeah, do you need help? Do you want to?
guys,
Do you
do
want
Do you need
to?
some counseling?
I know
I'm
we might need. We need to.
I'm so lonely. Just
Are you dealing
Poor
with
guy.
depression, Leo?
listen. Every waking moment is
Jesus.
Life is
Jesus.
suffering.
life is so no. Anyways, what are you thinking, Arsen? You woke up this morning and
No.
One challenge you overcame recently that made you want to blow your brains out.
Yo, anything after. Did you graduate this year, Michael?
No, I'm still in school.
Okay, so.
So was that something
You're
that
waiting
you
for
think-
this.
Okay.
But what is that? I know how for you, Leo, but like just as soon as we graduated, like every fucking thing felt like that challenge that you have to overcome, or you'll just fucking kill yourself or starve to death or
because
something.
it's like we're off to the races now, folks, and
Yeah, and everyone like just becomes like a huge douchebag.
So you guys both were in the film program at Humber,
yeah,
and it was
Yeah.
pretty difficult to say the least, right?
it was.
Yeah, we majored in unemployment. That was the
You
biggest
majored in
mistake. That was the biggest mistake we made. You know, we were just like, no one warned us.
Oh God.
No
So
one told us it's gonna be
why
that hard.
why was it difficult? Like what was difficult about it?
There are no jobs. Well,
Okay.
okay, we were
There's-
joking.
Saying you guys while you guys have jobs right now.
Yeah, I say, okay. But
And
we're like, we're talking for the little guy here.
it's just like,
Not us.
but yeah, like the hardest thing about at least our program, I guess, which would probably be a challenge that we both got over, is there was a lot of
Are we really gonna go that way?
there's so many dumb people.
Oh my god, man!
How about okay?
You know how that question should be phrased? It should be like, what challenges you overcome that made you want to blow someone else's brains out? And I'm like, oh man.
No, there was a lot of smart people in our program, but a lot of them did dumb things, and which made challenges.
Why are we
for us.
talking about a program?
I don't know. I just
Was
say.
it a challenge?
I don't know. That was just a challenge. That was a
Yeah.
mental challenge. Actually, recently, I don't know if I have any like hardcore challenges.
Great question, Lee, for putting in that.
Yeah, I know. I'm just
excellent.
hitting a stump right now, to be honest.
God.
I thought maybe maybe you guys would have had something
Well,
like something that's okay. Maybe not. Okay, let's tone it down. Not something that made you want to blow your brains out.
Okay.
But what's a challenge that you had that that you're like, I'm like that was tough.
Was it tough?
surviving 2 months without day off. That was tough.
Yeah.
Pretty tough.
This topic fucking sucks. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. No. Let's talk. Like as I said, after we graduated, I think it was kind of tough.
No,
for
I mean
everyone.
legitimately, it's not like you guys just had a regular school program. You know what I mean? Like
yeah.
I'm in PR now. PR is difficult for me. Like I'm having a lot of assignments coming up. The only thing is that you guys you were sometimes doing things like 12 hours a day. You know
12.
what I mean?
That was a good day.
Yeah,
It's like, oh, we're leaving her early.
yeah,
Nice.
like it was not a normal program. It was a difficult program. I can understand why you'd want to not literally blow your brains out. We don't encourage suicide on this podcast, but
Yeah, we're against suicides.
we're against suicide. Don't
So if
please
you're
don't.
for suicides, please kill yourself.
No, God, don't. No.
You have to cut this one out.
No.
Oh shit. Okay, you know what? So it will be easier to cut this one out. Michael, start again.
Okay. What was I saying? Oh, I was saying your program is a lot more different than just like, let's say my program, for example. I'm in PR, so it's I wouldn't say more tame because it's a little bit harsh too. But you guys literally had 12-hour days sometimes, if not more. God damn it, you had not only one challenges, you had a million fucking challenges. You had, like you said, stupid people to deal with, incompetent teachers. Didn't you? You guys are just holding your tongue. You're like, fuck, I don't want to reveal names.
I don't know.
No. Like I said, people weren't dumb. They just did dumb things. I should rephrase that.
Fair.
People weren't
Some of
dumb.
them were pretty dumb. Oh, sorry,
one
I
of
didn't
it- yeah,
say
no,
it
no.
loud enough to the microphone. Some of them were really, really dumb. I'm sorry, but like, it's not something. Listen, if you're
Yes.
listening to this and you understand human speech,
You're ahead of these people.
Some of you were pretty fucking stupid, but like it's okay. We forgive you.
Me and Leo here sitting on this like on a throne of smartness. We're just like judging all of you simple common man.
No, but it was. No, it was. No, I was.
I think the program wasn't like it was challenging and everything, but honestly, I never looked back since we graduated and said like, oh, I wish I didn't go to the program, or I wish like,
Oh yeah.
even the bad stuff that happened. And it was like like a tough times and everything. Right now, it's like a really, in a way, cool story to tell and something like you kind of proud of. And I think the biggest challenge is after you graduated, because it felt like, I know you're always looking forward to something, right? And here it's like, that's it. There's no more school starting in September. There's nothing. Then you look back and you just start, seeing that like 3 years ago you didn't know how to put like make camera record shit, and now you can do like a whole film for like $1,000. That was insane, and it's a huge progress in 3 years. But now you're out, and how do you do that? What do you do next? How do you maintain the momentum? Also, you have to like start earning money and kind of like be more independent and stuff like that. Then it also becomes like like a lot of like friendships, a lot of like just like this whole environment that you were in, which is like 100 people who are like just know each other very well, and like like
not cutthroat.
The worst thing about this industry is the fact that everybody's so cutthroat. Everyone is. There's a few dozen people that are very supportive of what you want to do, and then the other majority of people are just like yeah, whatever. Like, I want to crush you instead of working with you. If that's like not like, you know what I mean? It's very much so like, if you're not in someone's skill range, people look down upon you instead of trying to bring you up.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And everyone's kind of looking for, I mean, from my perception, like, people are looking for like the quick fix. You know what I mean? It's like, this guy doesn't know too much now, right? But maybe eventually he will. But they'll always pass by the person that doesn't know too much until like right? Like, they just kind of downplay that person. You know what I mean?
Sure.
It's
that's kind of leads a little bit into mine, and it's so much. It's kind of in school, kind of in life too. Like, one challenge that I overcame. Definitely not gonna put that recently one to blow your brains out, but it's just the fact that sometimes when you're so anxious or nervous, sometimes you can really feel like you're really dumb, or you're really just not equipped to deal with what's on hand. So I think that's especially when you have to really boost yourself up, give yourself confidence, try and breathe as much as I think possible. Like, just try and, because I think it's hard when you have so much kind of coming down, but the only thing you can focus on is what's right in front of you. Just taking one step at a time. You have one assignment or one thing to do. Just try and do it all get all your ducks in a row, and just try and do it all like that. You know what I mean? It's difficult. It's definitely difficult, but you might feel like I did. Like, I felt like super anxious, and when you feel super anxious, I don't know if you do this, Arsen. Do you drink a lot of coffee?
I drink a lot of coffee. It doesn't matter what whether it's a bad or good times, but
in my opinion, you shouldn't drink coffee when it's a bad time, because it just gets you like super anxious.
You
my
should
opinion,
mix something else in it.
a little bit of vodka,
some sambuca.
No, I used to do this thing, and this is something I'm not. Mom, if you're listening to this, if you haven't turned off yet, please turn off now. But starting from like second year, I think it was documentary. We were doing like a short documentaries in second year, or it was 3-year program, giving some context. But I had to not sleep.
Really?
Because you have to like sleep very little, because there is a lot of stuff to do, and you don't have enough hours in a day to do that. So it was hard to wake up. So what I would do is that I would just drink coffee and whiskey.
Jesus.
And it would help, because it actually because firstly, coffee makes you active, whiskey makes you like freaking want to do stuff, And I was doing this for a bit longer than I probably fucking should have. And that was actually fun. But I mean, like, the amount of times when I showed up to classes in the beginning, and I was like, I am a little bit drunk. And because sometimes you don't sleep the whole night and you drink this coffee whiskey, and then I show up and I'm like, I hope no one smells it, because I I just need to survive this class, not get expelled for being drunk in class, and then I can just go to editing room and keep doing my work. But yeah, man,
It's pretty intense.
I mean, damn it,
Thank God you don't
we
do
were
that
also
anymore.
broke, so.
It's hard to get whiskey, I guess, sometimes.
Well, I mean, whatever. Whiskey's not as expensive as something else that could have put you on feet way faster.
No,
I'm joking. Don't use drugs.
Don't
Don't do drugs. Don't do lines.
don't do that.
Wine.
Oh my god. Yeah, man. It's just the biggest thing right now is, for me, this is challenge is just getting a job within the industry. You know what I mean? And I'm lucky I kind of landed one right now.
Yeah.
I'm on the show. I
You
haven't
can't, you can't send
I haven't
anything early.
I haven't
Yeah.
signed an NDA, but
Probably best if you just don't say anything. Yeah.
yeah, I just
I
probably
haven't signed anything, but I'm just gonna put it on the podcast, post it on
Just
my
some
page.
self-promote.
You
No,
know.
I mean, I landed this spot.
He's working on the second season of Firefly. That's what I'm gonna tell you.
It's a lie, but
it's not Firefly.
Okay, some of you out there understood this joke.
I understood it.
Thank you,
with,
Michael.
I did it.
Firefly
what's his
was
name?
canceled. And it's the
Fillion, right?
most famous show that was canceled, never revived for second season.
Ah.
It's like saying that you're working on Half-Life 3.
Oh, true.
That's true.
You understand?
Okay, I got it. You understand? Okay, I got it.
That's a good comparison.
Yeah.
Anyways, yeah. So I mean, I landed that, so I'm like very happy. But yeah, it was a lot of anxiety just trying to get something in the industry, because the
Yeah.
job I'm at now, I've been trying to leave since last April, and
Sure.
I said, okay, but deadline, I'm gonna leave in June. Didn't happen. I'm gonna leave in September. Kind of happening, but now it looks like I might have to ease up until March.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna see with that. But yeah, that was a huge challenge for me, just trying to land something in the industry, and
Yeah.
it's great to see everybody that I've worked with, like, they're going up and like doing stuff. I'm like, man, yeah, that's great. It's motivating. But I'm just like, and I'm like, shit, like I want to get to that point too, right?
Sure.
The
But
thing is, in film school, it was kind of like our own small industry,
Sure.
All of us had these cool positions and lots of responsibilities, and it was kind of like almost a privilege. I always at least view it in his third year, at least, because it's it was the last year of our school and we didn't know what to do. But after we're done, but it always oh, you're a producer, oh, you're like the assistant director, or you're director, or you're writer, and it's almost like a privilege, because you're right now gonna be like working your ass off.
Sure.
Like not sleeping nights, doing a bunch of stuff, and then you're gonna get out and you're gonna spend next 20 years to get to the same position of being able to deal with the same problems. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that was a kind of weird thing, because you start from the beginning again and you feel like you have skills, but you probably don't.
oh my god, yeah, like
Yeah, you feel like you know a lot. Like you feel confident enough to go on a podcast and tell everyone that they are stupid,
yeah, like yeah.
Fair.
Yeah,
But in reality, we're fucking dumb too.
yeah, we are
Oh,
very
God.
dumb. I
Yeah.
mean, you listen to an hour of it. Like, you tell me.
You tell me. God help us.
But if you listen the whole hour of this, you're kind of
it's probably a little bit. It's probably,
There's probably something better you can do with your life.
oh, you just slashed half our viewers.
Yo, I am happy.
We have more than
Lisa,
two.
your daughter have. What do you think?
Fair.
Please share a like and subscribe.
Oh, Louisa.
All right, maybe in that case we should go into the lightning round.
We're gonna
After
go-
before you shit on all our fans, Arsen.
If anyone's still
gonna-
sticking around, get ready for this lightning round.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
I'm
Are
so
you ready?
Okay.
Yay.
But first,
Also, we're gonna go for beers after this podcast, so I'm kind of excited.
That's right.
we're gonna grab some beers. But first, Start the music.
There we go. Okay. I feel like
Arsen got to experience
You know what?
that
I'm-
random like other because it's like, what the fuck is happening?
I'm gonna
You gotta
I'm
do
gonna
that every time the music kicks in.
I was just waiting for the music.
I'm gonna go
Yeah.
for I'm gonna save my lightning question because it just came up in conversation. Would you consider yourself a lightweight or a heavyweight, Arsen?
Lightweight or a heavyweight?
Mhm.
I mean,
you fucking drank whiskey and coffee for 1 morning.
oh,
I think I know the
I saw
answer.
you mean like a boxer. You know, like
Yeah, Arsen's definitely gonna be drafted. He's gonna be into the
Yeah.
lightweight championship with.
I lost some pounds, you know, after school. What was that? I mean, it's hard to say.
Okay.
I might be. I just like this is the thing. So, by knowing whether you're lightweight or heavyweight, you need to drink a certain amount and know. Like
We'll simplify for you, Arsen.
Let's say you have,
in
you
a
have,
group, when I'm
you have
drinking in a
3
group of
beers.
people,
You have 3 beers.
never happened.
okay. You have, let's just say,
After number 2, I'm becoming a different person. He drinks like
Really?
a fucking pig. Yeah. I don't drink that much, but that guy, oh my god.
okay, so you're a lightweight when it comes to beer then.
No. It's like. So listen, in a group of people, whenever I'm drinking, so you can kind of compare, right?
Yes.
You-
Yeah,
that's
that's
how
true.
you
Okay,
say.
that's
Like
true, yeah.
you're like, oh, you know, like
Yeah.
me, Leo, and Michael, we
we're
both drank.
drinking,
All of
yeah.
us drank 3 beers, and I was the most drunk one. I must be the lightweight. But
Fair.
I'll say this. In a group of people, I will always drink more than anyone else.
This is fact.
Fact.
Yeah, but this is the thing. I don't drink as much as I used to. Like, I drink very rarely, but I drink a lot when I do.
When was used to?
Well, I mean, when I was, like, you know, in high school and everything. Listen, I'm from a different country where, like, you know, you're legal to drink from 18, but no one gives a shit since you're, like, 12. So,
What?
yeah. You just go to, like, you know, supermarket and you say, like, yeah, can I have 3 bottles of vodka? It's for my dad. He asked me to buy it. And they're like, sure, fuck it. Money is money. Yeah, no.
My eyes are wide open right now.
Me and my buddies were drinking since we were like 14, 15. Oh my god,
Jesus.
mom, I'm really hoping you're not listening.
Man, the beatings when you head home.
Man, no, that's the thing. I was really. I don't know what to say. It's almost like a normal thing that in Ukraine around 16 or something, my parents kind of knew that I was probably drinking.
Probably.
When I was going to, like, you know, my friend's place to, like, oh, we're just gonna, you know, play video games all night, and then we would just, like, you know, just go to the club or something like that.
Jesus Christ.
And get really smashed. Yeah, but it was like, it was a fun time. But there's this joke that is extremely true, and it's gonna land perfectly in this situation. You know, like in US in 21, they're like, oh, fine, I'm 21, I can drink now.
Yeah.
In Ukraine 21, I'm like, ah, shit, it's time to quit. and it's kind of true because when I moved here, first I moved here when I was 18, right? So it
Yeah.
was like, I'm not gonna say how many years ago because then you're gonna figure out how old I am. But
6 years ago.
huh?
6 years ago. You're 23, right? 24?
Here you go, Michael. What else are you gonna tell them? Tell them my home address. Come on, go ahead.
Do you see what I mean? And other episodes, I told Michael, I'm like, stop revealing information. People are gonna just geolocate
And then you're like,
us.
oh, so I work at Cineplex in the one, you know?
Yeah. Fuck, man.
You said that.
No, I didn't. I said I will.
Yeah, you said it in one of the episodes.
I did.
Yes.
Fuck.
Okay, go find him there.
Hey, if I could listen to your podcast, yeah, you work
So listen, what I was talking about.
Ukraine. You
came here-
quit drinking.
no,
at
yeah,
this
So
point.
I came here and I was, you know, drinking age in Ukraine is 18, but obviously no one gave shit. There was a funny story that on my 18th birthday, like legit the day off, me and a bunch of my buddies decided to go to our favorite bar, right? So it's my 18th birthday. We go to our favorite bar. We're just like drinking whole night, you know, like lots of beer, and I mean like we had like these towers of beer. So they do like
Jesus
they
Christ.
serve beer in like a huge tower.
They do it. They do it at Dave and Buster's here.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. I know what
like
you're talking
towers
about.
of beer, and we were just drinking the whole night. And then I remember the waitress came over and we were really drunk. So I'm like, oh, can you ask us for ID? Can you ask us for ID? Right? They're like, okay, yeah, we'll give them. And I'm like, oh, happy birthday. And she's like, wait, you turned 18 today? You were drinking shit for 2 years? Like, we're all drinking. And we're just like, yay! Fuck this! But man, there's so many funny drinking stories. You can fill out a couple episodes with that.
Oh,
God, I love
my
these stories.
God.
All right,
Yeah.
but
That's amazing.
unfortunately, me and Leo are definitely lightweights.
I was never really a lightweight. It's just over the last couple of years, like I was able to just handle my alcohol like really good. It's
Yeah.
weird. Like I can just drink, no problem, and then die. And then now it's like I'll drink a couple of beers, and then I'll get like whatever, like buzzed. Then I'll sober up just as quick.
Sure.
And then, but I can still like handle it. It's just like it's like fluctuation. So I'll be like, okay, 2 beers. Okay, hold on, chill for like half an hour. Okay, keep drinking.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
like I can keep putting them back.
Hmm.
But I don't know. My body's so efficient at processing the alcohol.
Fair enough.
And then I used to believe in that thing like don't break the seal. I don't know if like
Don't break the seal.
don't break the seal.
What's
Like,
that?
don't
okay.
piss. Like don't piss. Basically. You
Really?
know, you keep drinking. You never
Weird.
heard that. You never
No.
heard that. Like
No.
so, at least amongst like Rio and amongst like, my other friends, when we used to just drink, we just drink until like you would have to basically go to the washroom.
Well, dude, I
right?
always lose.
One of my best friends
Yeah.
had this theory that I think kind of worked for him, but he always said that, you know, the moment when you're gonna puke,
Yeah.
it's not like, you know, it's like a line that you cross. It's literally like a line that you can step on. So he's like, I can either drink not enough, or I can drink too much and I'm not gonna puke, and it's gonna be like, but if I'm gonna step on that line, like if I'm gonna get to exactly that line, then I'm gonna puke. He always puked.
So, so what would he do? Like, what would he just?
Okay, if you're listening to this, Max, he would just go outside. He would force himself by himself to puke,
Oh, that's Anthony.
and he would just come back and drink more.
That's literally Anthony. Anthony did that at my party. Like,
No, but Anthony went to sleep. He went to like he wasn't
He went- he went
stasis
night-night.
for like a little bit.
Yeah.
He was like, you know, like
oh,
just
like your buddy Max is just, and then we're back in it.
absolutely.
Just tag me in.
Oh man.
This guy's a champion. This guy's.
Oh man.
This might be the heavyweight.
Every
champion
time I
of the
come,
world.
so listen, you think I drink a lot because okay, Leo's seen me get drunk like maybe a couple times in the parties, and coupled every time there is an after party after one of our school screenings, I'm getting like fucked up, like completely wasted on purpose, and I do it really fast. I have a system, so I'm showing up to the bar, and when I want to get drunk, or when I just want to spend a good time, I just grab a beer or maybe 2. But when I want to like get drunk, and that's the objective, the goal, I'm really motivated. So I'm showing up, and I have this recipe. Please don't repeat this at home. You go there and you take 1 pint of IPA and 2 shots of tequila. You finish it. So you finish a shot of tequila first, then you drink half of IPA, then you finish second shot of tequila, another IPA. Then you do the same thing again, and you repeat. Usually after 3 times, you're kind of gonna stop. Yeah, because
God,
Jesus Christ.
you
What is
saw
this?
me do that every single.
Arsen,
I know. I haven't
Arsen,
seen that. I never.
You know what? I could tell from your accent that you come from a different place. You fucking telling me that in the audience that I can really tell you're from a different place. My God, you're a
This-
fucking tank.
We're
you're
gonna,
a machine,
I'm
Arsen.
gonna apply this. So basically, what do you get? Like a
If I
pint?
do this, I'm gonna get
Like a-
fucked.
Yeah,
Your pints. You get a,
pint?
yeah.
You get a pint. Yeah.
Oh, like a beer, you mean?
So you-
like EPA. Oh, okay. But still, that's fucked up.
Not like a pint of tequila. Are you
no,
kidding
no,
me?
no,
No,
no. I know. Like you get a pint. Yeah.
Oh.
Not like I said, like a bottle. Like, you don't get like a bottle of beer. You get like this actual like full-on pint. right?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
You have 3 pints and then you have 6 shots on top
okay.
of that.
I never.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
It's
You're acting like this is
it's
nothing.
It's full.
No,
proof.
that's like it's. Listen, when
But,
you
like, why
after
tequila?
first one, you don't feel tequila. It feels like water to you, right?
Why-
After first combo, let's call it arson combo. After first arson combo, tequila doesn't feel like tequila anymore. It feels like yummy, you know?
Yeah.
Like no one drinks
Tequila's
first.
never yummy. Yeah,
Listen.
tequila's never yummy.
It is. Like after that first combo, everything is yummy in the world.
So
You could drink a fucking swamp water and be like, fuck this.
this is something. But So 1 shot of tequila, half a
Two
pint.
shots of tequila.
Yeah,
Oh,
so
yeah.
1 shot of tequila, half a pint, another shot of tequila,
Yeah.
finish the rest of the pint. That's
Yes.
an arson combo. You're gonna trademark that, and
Yo, one time, and I'm not gonna reveal names, but we were after, I think it was second year of the first semester. We went to an after party, and I'm going with one of my combos, right? So I finished already 1 shot of tequila, and it was a bit more than half of beer. And I'm walking, and I have another shot of tequila. I'm walking past one of our instructors.
Oh,
And
shit.
he jokes because I had like another one combo in me already, and he jokes that says like I hope you're gonna drop it in. I'm like,
Oh.
sorry, what? And I'm just standing in one hand. I have like a shot of tequila, in the other hand I have like a 75% full pint of IPA. IPA is Indian Pale Ale.
Oh, okay.
Whatever.
I'm glad you clarified that because I didn't know what that meant.
I didn't know
You
either.
really?
I thought
No.
I knew it was a beer, but I just didn't know what kind.
Yeah, IPA, Indian Pale Ale. It's my favorite beer, so that it's just really like tasty. So.
Okay.
And I'm like, are you daring me? And he's like, oh, yes. And I did that. And I don't remember what happened after. I remember that the people that I met that night,
I know
I
who
had
it
to
is.
meet them again.
I know who this.
You do know who it is because he taught you how to do that shit on your face.
I just know it is because it just. You know how I knew? You know how I knew?
He's the one who taught you how to do the mixing.
No, but you impersonated.
Yes,
you
I
impersonated
did.
him. And
Yes, I did.
He's like, I did. Oh, fuck. So he's gonna. He was like one of the sickest profs.
You should tell him to listen to the episode.
What?
Tell him to listen to the episode.
Probably won't. He's gonna listen to it and give Leo C+ for sound editing. He'll be like, I've heard a little bit,
This is absolutely trash. This is why are they peeking? Did you not have an interface? I'm like, no, I had
He's like,
Mixer.
how about like those things? So
yeah. No, yeah.
I know nothing about sound. Everything I knew about sound I forgot now. So I'm like, I don't know what
Fair
that
enough.
shit is called.
A mixer?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
mixer.
Yeah. fair
I
enough.
know because there's exactly the same thing called the mixer that you mix alcohol.
Two different mixers. There's two different
Yeah.
people.
Alright.
Yo,
Have-
I promise Leo that one day I'm gonna take him to Ukraine. I extend my invitation to you,
Okay.
Michael.
Alright.
But what is that? Yo, every time I come back to Ukraine, everything happens like this. I go to a party with my friends and they start like, what? You went to Canada and you just forgot how to drink.
Jesus
What
Christ.
is this? Beer? Where is vodka? What is this? Tequila? And then
That's fucked, man.
those guys drinking.
The
like,
day I go to Ukraine is the
day you
day I
die.
die.
No.
I'm gonna die of alcohol poisoning.
You'll be fine.
I'm gonna get shipped back to Canada, part of the luggage bin. You can just see me on
You'll
like
be okay.
the rotating belt.
Yeah.
When they
No
pick
one's
up the
gonna
luggage.
send you anywhere. What happened in Ukraine stays in Ukraine.
You're gonna get sent back on the airplane with the Ukrainian
No,
flag
Leo,
wrapped around you.
one day, come over. Yo, we're just gonna tear that city apart.
Alright.
Seriously.
Okay, now, Leo, what's your lightning round question for Arsen?
Oh yeah, I totally forgot. We have a lightning round question. Hold on. Is it here? No, that's the
All
one I
right.
chose. Just to sober up just a little bit. Arsen, this is one just strictly for you. I mean, obviously.
Oh shit.
No. It's
Okay.
nothing bad. I kept it really mild. I'm just saying, like, because you've been in Canada for quite some time now, and you've been to the TIFF festival, and we brought up TIFF throughout like this podcast like a bunch of times. What was your favorite year of TIFF, like that you've attended?
Okay. It really, because I kind of progressed through TIFF. Like I was very inexperienced TIFF viewer in the first
Sure.
year when I came here, and I was mostly like just in lines, and I've seen only one movie. Second year I was like I did more and then more and more, and then last year, not this year I was too busy. Last year I took like a pack and I watched like 11 movies in like a week. It was intense.
Jesus.
But if we're talking about like experiences, I know I really like both first years, so like 2013, 2014, they were really good. I got to meet Kevin Smith, talking
Oh,
about
really?
another
Oh,
famous
sweet.
podcaster. So this is the thing. I was in
Nice.
business school at the time, right?
Nice.
No, not at the time.
I mean
I
the
was-
director, right? Kevin Smith?
yeah,
Yeah.
and the podcaster, right?
He is,
like
yeah.
the Smodcast.
He is.
So he was presenting Tusk.
Okay, I think I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's about a guy turning another guy into a walrus.
Jeez.
Yeah, that was insane movie, but it was really good. Well, it wasn't really good movie. It was just really fun. But basically, I read his book when I was in business school, and it was called Tough Shit, and it's incredibly motivational book. I just knew Kevin Smith from like his movies, and I was never like a huge fan of his films or something. I really liked Dogma, and Clerks. But I read that book, and I'm just like that guy literally inspired me to just like finally ask my parents one last time, can I just freaking leave this stupid business thing and just go to film? Because I always wanted to be a filmmaker. And so they allowed it and whatever. So, and next year he was coming with the premiere of Tusk, which was amazing. So I went to see it, but I didn't want to see the movie. I went to see him, right? So I like stand in line where all the fans are. And I stood there for, I think, like it was a Midnight Madness movie, so it was starting at 12. And I was there like at 9 a.m. And I was just standing there the whole fucking time.
You were there for 15 hours.
Yeah.
Jesus. Wow.
That's like one film day.
Yo,
That's like one shooting day.
Yeah, it was insane, but it was like awesome because like usually when you do that at TIFF, you standing there with people who are the same insane as you are, so you have a lot to talk about. But it was really fun. I actually seen, you're a hockey guy, so you'll know. But so Kevin Smith is a huge fan of hockey.
Yeah, he always wears hockey jerseys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there was a guy who showed up at the premiere, and it was like right before all the actual cast and crew show up. And he's just walking. Everyone was like, wow, 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 wow! This is amazing, amazing. And I'm like, who is that? And he's like, this is the greatest hockey player who ever lived.
Wayne Gretzky?
Yeah.
Oh wow!
Holy shit!
Nice.
Holy shit.
Wow. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. There was another moment. It was like because the premieres at the same theater, they happen like one by one. So
Yeah.
even though I was waiting for the last one, I did see the arriving of all the premieres from the previous one. And one of them was A Prophet. There was an animated film that never really released anywhere wide, but it's like it was created by a bunch of different filmmakers from around the world. And one of those filmmakers was Roger Allers, and he was coming around, and I was like, "Oh, Roger Allers, whatever." He gave me, autograph, and he just like moved on, and everyone asked him for the autograph, and then he left, and people like turned around to me, "Who is this guy?" And I'm like, "Oh, you read his autograph? You don't know who he is?" I'm like, "No." I'm like, "It's Roger Allers." "Yeah, what did he do?" I'm like, "Lion King."
What?
Roger Allers directed Lion King.
Oh,
I'm just like,
shit.
No one knows his name because
Wow.
he wasn't in Fast and the Furious or something like that.
Wow, shit.
Yeah, but it was really
That's cool.
But so I got to see Kevin Smith, and he's coming over, and I have his book in my hand.
Yeah.
I was like waiting to get it signed or whatever, and I'm just like, I'm gonna say something, and he's walking past because he showed up late, and it's almost the start of the movie, so he's like apologizing. Everyone was like doing hand gesture, just walking through the crowd, and he sees that I'm the only one with the book. He shows up, comes over, and he's like, "Wow, someone bought it!" And I'm just like, yeah. And I was going to say like, "Oh, I love your movies," and I'm just like, "Oh," and he looks at me. And she's like, "Oh, I love you too, man."
That's nice.
I'm like, "You did not hear what I said." But no, it was pretty cool.
That's cool, man. He seems like a pretty cool guy.
Yeah.
So I'm awesome. I'm glad you really got to meet him. He's a cool guy, man.
But you know what was the best story at TIFF? That's kind of like it was my first year here.
Okay.
So it was a premiere of Gravity.
Oh,
Gravity
yeah.
premiere.
Nice,
So
nice movie.
mind you, I'm in Canada for like week 2 maybe. My
Oh, wow.
English is not great, so I'm standing at the premiere of Gravity because I really wanted to see Alfonso Cuarón, and I did get to see him, but he never came over to like give autographs or anything because everyone was yelling Sandra Bullock, and no one gave a shit about Alfonso Cuarón because now the guy won just Venice and won Oscar for that film because now people give a shit about that, but whatever. So, and I was standing with this woman, and she was one of the volunteers at TIFF, and I didn't know anything, right? And I barely knew English in a way that I can still speak to someone,
Sure.
have a decent conversation. And we were just standing there for like 4 or 5 hours or whatever, and I was telling her that there was a movie that was playing at TIFF that I really wanted to see, and it was Kill Your Darlings.
Okay.
with Daniel Radcliffe and
Yeah.
Dane DeHaan. And it wasn't because of like those actors or whatever. It was just the movie was about Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac, all the Beat Generation writers, and I'm a fucking biggest fan of all that literature wave like you can fucking find. I'm like, I love every single book and every single author of that generation. It is like, it's incredible, and I really wanted to see it because it's not something often that shows up in films.
Sure.
And I told her about that, and then she just took out one of her vouchers,
Nice.
whatever, and she just like, you know what, like go watch this movie. And she just gave it
Oh.
away to me.
Yo.
Nice.
And I went to see it at a world premiere. The movie didn't get a wide release after, surprisingly, even though it was like it was premiered at Roy Thompson Hall. But I got to see, like, that was my first and only movie that year that I went to see. It was in Roy Thompson Hall, and it was like, you know, I had to stand in the rush line, but I got in, and it was like incredible.
Nice.
And yeah, the movie wasn't amazing or even good, I would say.
Yeah, but the experience of just
yeah, but my first world premiere that I watched was like, you know,
Nice.
like just because some stranger decided to like, here you go.
Here you go.
just like, this looks like
So-
a good kid.
Yeah.
You know.
So maybe with that experience, maybe we'll wrap up our podcast
Oh.
experience. Leo,
Yeah.
do you want to sign us off, buddy?
Oh, man.
Is he paying you for this? Because you're trying way too
I
hard.
know.
He's trying to do these like different
You're
times.
trying too
man.
hard,
I'm
man.
trying. I'm trying.
Dude, that's a really cool story, man. That's
It's a
like
cool story,
it's
though.
a
That's a cool
TIFF
story. Yeah.
Yeah, that's and you've gone to TIFF every single year, right? Like
Yeah,
when
at least a little bit. Like 1 year, 2 years ago, I think I was too busy with documentaries, and I went only to one of the screenings, which was Dog Eat Dog from Paul Schroeder, who wrote the screenplay for one great movie. You know which one? Taxi Driver.
Shot at me, Arsen.
Yes, Michael.
Try to take a shot at me. Listen.
Yeah.
Taxi
you know?
driver's overrated.
So,
I said it.
oh my god.
well, that's the end of Michael's
Life.
career life.
Don't
we'll be
worry,
back
man.
after these messages.
I like you, Michael. I'll kill you last.
I'm dying first
The
because
second time we said that tonight.
Yeah. It's a quote
It's a quote.
from
fair.
Commando. Come on.
Oh, I never
Yeah.
seen
Remember?
Commando.
I
no.
like you, Jimmy. I'll kill you last. And then he's like holding him by like one leg over the cliff, and he's like, "You remember I promised I'll kill you last?" And he's like, yeah, you did. He's like, "I lied."
That's
He
amazing.
just drops him from, yeah.
That's amazing.
Arnold is the best.
Arnold's the
Arnold
best.
is-
All right.
Oh man, I gotta do an Arnold movie marathon one day. Just
All right,
just
buddy.
like but you know, line them all up. But Arsen, I want to say thank you so much for being on today's show.
Thank you so much for
Yes,
having me.
thank you.
Today
for
is
being on.
we broke a new
We
record.
definitely broke a new record.
This is our longest podcast episode ever. We're approaching
2
2
hours.
hours.
Are you fucking serious?
Yes.
Oh,
you
shit.
have
Yeah.
you have the record.
Oh, shit.
Dude, this was an amazing episode. Thank you so much for being on
You
it.
should title it "The Dude Who Cannot Shut the Fuck Up." And I'm literally telling you, just please do that, and then it's gonna be perfect fucking ending for this podcast, because people will be like, "Why is it called "The Dude Who Can't Shut the Fuck Up"?"
I think they might be able to be able to tell from the 2 hour fucking episode.
every episode leading up to just like an hour, 45 minutes.
Don't worry, there's gonna be
Dude.
cuts.
This guy-
There might be some.
we might have to do a trilogy out of this and make it like
Yeah,
part 1, part 2, part 3.
you know, called episode 1,
Episode-
episode 2, episode 3.
Hey.
Yeah.
But Arsen, thank you so much for being on. Guys and gals, thank you for sticking around and listening to this wonderful episode. If you want, you can follow Arsen on
Don't follow me, please.
do you not want to
Don't
be followed?
stalk me around.
Do you not want to follow Arsen on his different adventures as he goes through life on his Instagram at Arsen Martyrosian? We'll probably drop a link at his discretion. Arsen, would you like that?
You shouldn't have said my last name, because it's like, man,
We'll cut that out.
like, you know, the witness protection will not,
Oh,
will
no.
not forgive me that. They sent me to Canada once already, but man,
Okay.
where are they gonna send me next? I'm gonna like here.
Guys and gals, thank you so much for listening into this week's episode of the Hat Trick Podcast. If you want to show us some love, follow us on Instagram at Hat Trick Podcast. Also check us out on Twitter at Trick Podcast. You can also follow Mike and myself on our personal Twitter accounts. That for Michael, it's MikeDnac. That's Mike DNac. And for myself, it's DI_LEO at DLeo. That's for Twitter. And also check us out on Facebook at Hat Trick Podcast with Mike and Leo. Send us a like, send us some love, send Arsen some love.
That's right. some big Ukrainian love.
Yeah.
Now, guys,
Do I need my postal code?
they might need it after. So, Arsen, I really want to thank you for being on the episode. It was really fun. But I just want to warn everybody listening at home, on the subway, wherever you are. Please, for the love of Christ, do not try the Arsen combo.
No, listen. I knew Mike. I knew Mike would say that.
Please, for the love of God,
I knew Mike would say that. And for the love of God, try the Arsen combo. Let's get this. We are gonna get this trending. We're getting this trending on Twitter, on Instagram. Arsen combos for life, guys.
Just know that.
What are we doing when we're going to the bar right after this?
Yeah.
If it's still open and we're doing an
I'm
Arsen
gonna
combo.
prove them that works.
Just know that if you guys die, you will be wrapped in the Ukrainian flag. All right, guys.
Listen. So you know how like people say like make love, not war. Like make Arsen combo, not Tide Pods, please.
Not what?
Not Tide Pods.
Night Tide Pods.
Tide Pods.
All right.
And with that, good night, guys. Have a good night.